You,
Okay, you can go ahead. You good? We're recording. We
Shalom,
live.
shalom, family. Happy Shabbat Sabbath day. Going to prayer. Let's go into prayer and give the Most High all His honor and all His due, and we can get into this lesson and break down the Heavenly Father's word unto the masses of the world, unto those that's gathered today to receive the word. Let us bow our heads in prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for waking us up this morning, giving us some health and strength. Thank you for having us come together again this Sabbath Shabbat day to so that we can receive the honor and the glory of your glory, Father, to share in your word. We ask that you open us up mentally, physically, and spiritually, our minds, that you give knowledge, wisdom, understanding to the reader, to the hearers, to those that are gathered together today, that we humble ourselves down to receive everything that you have for us, Father. Thank you for having us to come together. I thank you for those that's new to come on, that their minds may be open, that our family minds that may be open and awaken to this truth, Father. There's a lot of silly, wicked illnesses going out in the world, and a lot of Israel has been deceived. But we know that your word says it's not possible that the very elect of your chosen would be deceived. So I thank you for that, Father. I thank you that you just continue just to guide us, to lead us in the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, to give us a sound mind, to be able to receive everything of you. Let us decrease mentally and carnally, Father, and allow us to increase mentally, physically, and spiritually, Father, that we be inclined to receive everything of your word, and just continue to humble us as we receive your word, Father. We thank you for this today. It's very important that we understand that you made the Sabbath Shabbat day. You honored the Holy Sabbath Shabbat day. You glorified the Holy Sabbath Shabbat day for us to have rest. So we know that we work hard throughout the week, and the enemy want us to continue to work and break your Sabbath day. But we know your Sabbath day. We know that you made the Sabbath day for us to keep it and honor it. It's part of the one of your holy days, Father, and we honor that, and we look forward to all your holy days, Father. And we just thank you for these holy days, removing these wicked holidays and removing these wicked practices of idolatrous, Father. We thank you that you have opened our eyes to all paganism and all wicked things that come against you, Father, because we stand on it and we crush it, Father. We crush the enemy under our feet, Father, and we stand on every word of the Bible, Father, from Old Testament to New Testament with the Apocrypha. And we thank you for just giving us knowledge, wisdom, understanding of all truth, and to be awakened in this world today, not being overtaken by the wicked illnesses of the wicked one and his forces, Father. Thank you that we stand together as the salt of the world, as the light of the world, being victorious, being warriors in this truth, being the true prophets and priests to bring the word, and our sisters, the prophetess that stand on every word of you, Father. But thank you again that you have awakened us, and we gather here today to receive everything of you. In your name, we praise always and forever. Kala Yahweh power and Yahweh Shah Mashiach Basha name and Yahweh Shai name, pray always and forever. And may you continue to get all honor and glory. Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Hallelujah. Amen.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Come. All praise to the Most High, man.
All right. Okay.
Throughout for everybody for coming on to another lesson, man. Like I said, I do want to start doing these more often. It's not often enough we get together. Some people don't like using technology, but the Most High has allowed things like this platforms to exist for us to join up. So we should have no excuses why we not fellowshipping, why we don't have any type of unity or anything with one another, man. Whether it's over a computer monitor or on the phone or something, man, or through the mail, or however means people like to communicate today. But I'm Akbar Yana, and today's lesson we're gonna talk about disciplining your children. In this kingdom, it's frowned upon. They said you can't do it, but once again, amongst our people, the Israelites, us black folk, You know, us people that's caught up in the different islands and stuff. They try to keep us down. And one thing they do, man, is destroying our children. Once you take away the power of the parents over the children, all you're doing is creating chaos, man. And the children grow up, they do what they want to do. There's nothing, you know, that they fear. You know, they go to jail, they end up dead. You know, that's that, man. But let me get my screen shared. We can jump into some scriptures. John, there we go. All right. X, man. Let me know if you want to, if you good to read for me today, man. I know you've been on that plantation.
I'll
Hey,
read
give me a
if I need to
second.
read.
Yeah, could you read it for now? Because I'm trying to get my computer up. I had to restart it.
Come. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Go ahead. All right, sis. We're gonna open up in Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 1.
Okay. Oh goodness. Mine's gonna act up now.
Yeah. I got it on the screen if you don't have it on your phone.
Yeah. Well, I'm using my iPad too. So I can see better.
Come.
Ecclesiastes 5. And what verse you said?
Start at verse 1.
Okay. Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of God, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil.
Hold it right there, okay? Like I said, we go over this verse every week. You know, it's a very special verse, man. And we all got to have this discipline to hold our tongues. You know, don't just speak and say whatever you feel to come to your mind. A lot of times, this is how people are. You speaking to them about the word of the Most High, and they already know it all. Not according to scriptures, not according to any form of history or anything. It's just something they feel on the inside of just that warm feeling. You know, they just go freestyle on their way through life, man. But we got to keep our foot. We got to hold fast, and we got to listen before we talk. All right. Let me get verse 2 of that, sis.
Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before God. For God is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Therefore, let thy words be few.
So, like I said, say less, listen more. You know, the Most High gives the word. He instructed us how to live, and if we can't follow His instructions, His laws is for the betterment of our life. You can't follow that, you don't deserve the kingdom. You don't even deserve to continue living. But the Most High is merciful and gracious. So the Most High gave us order. As far as a parent, when your child go off, you got to correct your child. You even got to teach your children that they can't just speak to an adult any kind of way. I know when I was coming up, I couldn't just say anything to an adult. If I seen my mother talking to another adult, my father talking to somebody, I had to keep my mouth closed and till they acknowledge me, man. No talking out of turn, none of that. My folks wasn't having none of that. But nowadays that stuff is lacking a lot, right? Let me bring out we're gonna jump into Romans chapter 12, verse 2.
Okay, in the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
Come, right? Don't be stuck on what this world is teaching you. As we mentioned before in previous lessons, man. Boys can't be girls, girls can't be boys. They got things where the children can pretty much put the parents away. You divorce yourself from your parents. I don't know what kind of garbage that is. It's all these different traps and these different snares for us to get caught in. And a lot of time our people get stuck on it, man. One thing that is used against us is our women. She's a great tool against us. A lot of our sisters lack discipline. I like to say they missed quite a few ass whippings when they was growing up. They need to go back in time and get them ass whippings. Maybe they won't be so unruly, but We know Israel gonna be Israel, but it's better for us to get it now and to teach our children the right way. So when our children grow up, they don't become fools out here in these streets. They don't just carry this up anyway, because as soon as something happened to them, you know, you see the parents come to the TV, oh, you know, my child never did this, or my child was this type of child, or something like that. But you never discipline them. All you do is spoil your child, man. We can't be into the mindset of spoiling children, but we got to transform the way we think. We got to come out the way of modern society. We got to go back. A lot of people say, oh man, that Bible stuff is boring. No, that's the proper way to live. If we go back to that, convert back to the original way of how people are supposed to live their life, we wouldn't have none of these issues that we have today, you know. And if somebody did raise a problem, the whole community will be in an uproar, and we're gonna uproot that person away from us. You know, Most High wasn't playing with us. That's how we need to be. Right. We're gonna jump into what's that? John 8:32, I believe. Because this is supposed to be a God-fearing country, you know, a place where the Most High dwells. But the Most High ain't in this place, man. You know, he about to be all over it. He ain't in this place. Right. All right,
Okay.
sis.
Book of John, chapter 8.
Salaki, 1 second. I'm gonna start a little before this. I want to get a little bit more context on this. Start at verse 29. Salaki, start at 28. 28.
Okay.
All right. We can go to 32.
Okay. Then said Yahushua unto them, when ye have lifted up the Son of Man, then shall ye know that I am he, and that I do nothing of myself, but as my Father have taught me, I speak these things.
Come on, 1 second, sis. So as the Most High Yahweh had taught Yahushua, right? Father teaching the Son, you know, Yahushua was full of the discipline of the Most High, and not necessarily getting whippings and punishment or time or anything of that nature, but Yahushua was, you know, straight up completely about his Father's business. You know, he knew what he was doing was all on right. Didn't even never second guess. And a lot of times nowadays, children don't consider these things. Children are so lost into the social media world. Everything they see, they think is real. It's a reality. You got so many young girls and young boys turning up missing. You know, a lot of young girls, they out here dressed like hoes. You about 9, 10 years old with makeup on your face. They don't have no form of discipline on anything. They end up getting kidnapped, and the mother's supposedly cool with the daughter dressing how she want to dress and putting whatever she want on her face, putting that clown makeup on. You know, we got to reflect on how Yahushua is reflecting right here in the scriptures. You know, he's of his Father who taught him, right? The same way the Most High Yahweh through Yahushua gave Moses the laws to teach us. We were supposed to be like this originally, but a lot of us we fell off. Slaki. Go ahead, sis.
Verse 29. And he that sent me is with me. The Father have not left me alone, for I do always those things that please him.
Come, keep going.
As he spake these words, many believed on him. Then said Yahushua to those Jews which believed on him, if ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Come. That's right, because everything Yahushua was coming from the Father. Yahushua wasn't telling no stories, no lies. You know, the way we're supposed to live our lives. That's what we're going to this topic, about disciplining your children. You know, it's a certain way we're supposed to conduct ourselves, and a certain way we're supposed to let our children know how they're supposed to carry themselves. A lot of time you do got to lead by example. You know, you can't tell your child not to do something and you doing it. You got to show them the right way, because that's what modern society is doing them. They showing them the negative things, and because they don't have nothing at home, no stability at home, to say, hey, don't do this, you know, they fall into them pits. You know, they get lost in this world easy. All right. We're gonna jump into Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. Okay, Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 6.
Okay, 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
That's how we got to start out. It starts with the children. You know, children, they're not always going to be children. They're going to grow up. They're going to be a part of society. You know, if they're not getting what they're supposed to get and they just living every day the way they want to do things, all because some TV show told them something, or some Facebook post, or some Twitter, or some Instagram nonsense is teaching them stuff. Those are things they're going to cleave to that. So you got to train your children up so they know not to do these things. They know not to get involved in this wicked society. Stay away from the ways of this world, in which the Most High always caution and warn us. You know, being an Israelite, we're not like anybody else on the earth. Other nations know this, they see this, so they more so target us. You know, most of our programs and stuff that we watch is some of the most corrupt, vile things, even going all the way down to the animated, to the cartoons for little children. You know, you got so many vile things in that. And you know, you think because it's a cartoon and something animated, you're not worried about your child doing anything negative. But then when they display certain type of behavior and you don't jump on it, you think, oh, it's innocent, they're just a child. No, that child is learning, that child is absorbing. So if you're not showing them the way they're supposed to grow up, the way what they're supposed to do and what they're not supposed to do, they're just gonna be prone to do whatever they want to do, because that's what they see. And they see so many people doing it. That's why the scriptures warn us not to follow a multitude to do evil. We can't get caught up into that. Right? Let's jump into Deuteronomy chapter 6. We're gonna go to verse 1.
Okay. Now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments, which the Lord Yahweh your God commanded to teach you, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go to possess it.
Keep going.
That thou mightest hear, Salakia, that thou mightest fear the Lord thy God, to keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, thou and thy son and thy son's son, all the days of thy life, and that thy days may be prolonged.
So all we had to do is listen, just like the same way we got to listen to the Most High Yahweh. And these are the things that our parents are supposed to teach us, the law, statutes, the commandment. You know, I know a lot of us, you know, we've been taken away from our culture, but coming back, you know, having families now, we got to instill this in our children, you know, for the good of their lives, so that their days may be prolonged, not just to do it for vanity, right? Keep reading, sis.
Hear therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee, and that ye may increase mightily, as the Lord God of thy fathers have promised thee, in the land that floweth with milk and honey.
So we go to have good things, man. And you know, the same way that the scriptures is talking about the Most High instructing us and giving us commandments to do, it's like you got rules and regulations, you got things that in your own household that you don't want, your children are not allowed to do. Your children are supposed to follow those guidelines. You say, hey, you know, you got to be in the house by 8, 9 o'clock. Got to be in the house by 8, 9 o'clock. You know, I want your homework done. You know, I want you to have your dinner. I want you to have your bath. Be ready for bed by 9:30. You know, whatever, however, you know, you have things set up as a parent. These are rules and regulations in your household. You know, some people are a little bit, maybe a little more strict. I know coming up, so I had to be in the house 30 minutes after school was over. You know, unless I had some sports or something I was doing. But besides that, I got to be in that house, man. And I used to think, oh man, you know, my folks don't want me to have fun or do nothing. But then when I start seeing the dangers out here in the world, you know, it cautioned me a lot. You know, though I've strayed many times in my youth, you know, my ignorance in my youth, I strayed many times, you know, been out here and hanging there. But now I thank the Most High that, you know, I'm getting myself on track. I'm making sure, you know, me and my wife, we getting our children on track, so they ain't got to worry about any of that. Right? Keep going, sis. Verse 4. We're gonna read down to 12.
Okay. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates. And it shall be when the Lord thy God shall have brought thee into the land which he sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities, which thou buildest not, and houses full of all good things, which thou fillest not, and wells dig, which thou diggest not, vineyards and olive trees, which thou plantest not, when thou shalt have eaten and be full. Then beware lest thou get the Lord, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage.
Come. So this is right here, is going in, Moses going in, letting us know what we have to teach our children, first and foremost. What are we teaching our children? No, it's not just your child don't listen to you, just beat your child. No, you got to instruct your children the right way. And how is that? According to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High Yahweh, right? That's a big thing, because some people teach their children, any garbage out here. You got little girls learning how to move their bodies, all sexual stuff at a young age. That's nothing you teach your daughter. People, a lot of sisters don't like to teach their daughters to keep they self covered. Your body's only for your husband, not for the whole planet Earth to see. And what you put on the internet goes everywhere. What you think, I took these pictures down, or I took that video down. Nah, once it's out there, it's out there. Then you shame yourself, you shame your family. And that's one thing that this society's been getting rid of, is our people feeling the shame of doing things that they're not supposed to do. And that's all because a lot of these households lack the word of the Most High Yahweh. We need the word in the house. So we got to teach our children the Most High's laws. And this is what's supposed to govern us. This is supposed to prolong our days. This is what is going to get us blessings. You can't just do what you want to do. So what you done did an album and you sold a million copies or a billion copies of the album. Most High don't care nothing about none of that stuff. And all the glory goes to the Most High Yahweh. All right. Let's jump into Proverbs. We're gonna jump to Proverbs chapter 23. And let's see, go to verse, I guess we can start at verse 13.
Okay.
Yeah, Proverbs chapter 23, verse 13.
Okay. Withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die.
Sure, because you're not supposed to beat your child to kill your child. You beating your child as a warning to let them know, you do this is what happens. The child don't do it no more. Hey, I ain't get it beaten because I ain't doing such and such no more. Yeah, I ain't gonna discipline you or come at you any type of way if you're doing what you're supposed to do. But when you're going off, you getting that ass whooped, man. That's how it's been. My time coming up, man. Even going to school, my teachers could beat me. I mentioned that before. My neighbors, and I definitely didn't want nothing to go back to my parents. Especially my my mother, my grandparents. They was extremely strict on me, man, more than ever. Right. So if you beat your child, man, look, don't beat him to kill him. It's just for correction. Your child touch something they're supposed to touch, they break something, or they do something and they get themselves hurt. Which I've done before. I got myself hurt. Not listening to my mother. She done nursed me back to health, and it still beat me. But I learned how to do that, to do those things again. Read verse 14 for me, sis.
Thou shalt beat him with the rod, and shalt deliver his soul from hell.
Because you trying to let your child know, look, man, you do this, you do that. Not only you know, you're destroying your soul by doing something, especially to hurt somebody else. And not just in physical ways either, you know, psychologically, you know, it's different ways you can hurt somebody without even putting your hand on them. You know, just being violent, just being filled with all type of garbage, man. But like I said, as a child, you know, as the children now today, their parents not into giving them beatings. They more so just, you want to have little conversations with them to find out what's going on. Or you got children going to psychiatrists and things of that nature to sit down. And sometimes as a parent, if you're not teaching your child the right things and they're going off, you got to check yourself first. You know, oh my goodness, my child is, you know, out here, you know, smoking and drinking and doing this and that, you know. But how come? Because hey, that's all you do. So of course your child gonna mimic you and thinking that's cool. All right. Go ahead. You had a question? Kotazi, you got a question?
Also, with that and the correction of that child being, you know, you beating the child to keep in correction, the scripture also referenced with a precept with that from Proverbs 13, verse 24. He that
don't bring that out. That's just where I'm going next.
Okay,
that's the next day.
Okay.
Yeah, I know exactly what you going in.
Calm.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna grab that, Jank. I'm gonna let you read that, and you can elaborate on it. Let me grab that right now. Yeah, I figured that you was about to pull up. I might pull it up, man. 24. There you go.
Proverbs chapter 13, verse 24. He that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chastiseth him betimes.
Many times, man. Many times, repeatedly. Every time. You know, you don't let nothing slide. You get everything. They cut up, you get them. And that's what instills in the child's mind, you know, like, hey, you know what, hey, my mom ain't playing, my dad ain't playing, man. Look, man, I got to straighten myself up, man. I can't, you know, I can't keep doing this and doing that, man. I don't want to keep getting that beating. And the younger you do it, and I ain't talking about beating no little babies, no newborns or something like that. You know, younger, maybe like 2-3 years old, you pop them on a hand or something. You know, as they get older, then, you know, of course, you can hit them with the strap and all that stuff. But definitely not no babies, man. You know, this ain't something to be misinterpreted. Is you know, you be abusive in any way. You know, discipline and abuse is two different things. That's where this system, you know, get it all mixed up and twisted. But go ahead. I know you wanted to elaborate.
No, Tom, but exactly what you're saying, I was going to elaborate exactly how you're elaborating, because the world has twisted the Most High's word for our children and sons and daughters to be corrected. But the world want to make it like it's an abuse type thing to take out what the Most High has to guide us in, to lead us how to protect our children from the wicked ways of the world. But the world want to say that yeah, if you hit your child, you know, the child called 911 and the authorities come in and remove your child from your home, from your authority, and they raise our children, and they raise our children in the system that is utterly corrupt, to have our kids go against the Most High and go with the ways of this wicked world, man. And I think that's a terrible thing to do when a mother and father are Israel, enrooted in this word. Then you have, you know, you're trying to correct them from, you know, being taken up by authorities out there in the world and be abused in the system. You try to save them from those corrupt things, but then the system want to step in and try to rule our children, rule our houses, as how the Most High say how we correct our child, you know, or children, and going off on the deep end. Because I know for me, for a fact, I got plenty of spankings, beatings, jacked up, hemmed up, everything. But, you know, like I tell anyone, I'm not ashamed to say it, my mother, 5'3", 5'3", maybe 140, 50 pounds. I was scared of her at a young age. You know, so I feared this woman. She was a giant. I'm standing over top of her. 6 foot over top her. She was a giant. To me, like the most fear. I didn't fear anything. I didn't fear anything. But her, I feared because I had to deal with her when I got home from doing whatever I was doing in school, whatever. And sometimes, it's always an order to have for the man to be there, for both parents to raise a child, because sometimes boys get out the way with their mother. They're not gonna do that with their father. It's gonna be a whole different kickback with dad, and a lot of times now we see that a lot of broken families is like that because divorce rate is high. People get married for the wrong reasons. It's not governed by the laws and the commandments of the Most High, how He wants us to go. And a lot of times we lose our children like that, man. Just from having a home that's broken and not knowing the laws and the commandments of this truth. I've spoken to plenty of sisters that don't understand why wickedness is in the world, why this happened to them or why that happened to them, and they're bound down to idolatrous ways of thinking that that's the right way to go. Thinking, going to church on Sundays, thinking I'm gonna celebrate this birthday, I'm gonna celebrate this holiday, and that's far from what the Most High wants for our people, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to come out from those idolatrous ways, those wicked practices, man, because they practices of the wicked one, and it takes us away from the Most High. It takes us, the Most High is jealous, and we got to get back to Him to have that order and correction for our families, for ourselves first, and then into our families. That's it, Ken.
That's all true, man. Like it's no way we gonna make it, man, if we don't heed correction, man. It's impossible. This I'm mainly focusing on children because our children are the future, as they say, man. So if we fail them by not teaching them right, and they come up into this society and they do whatever the hell they want to do, it's not gonna be a good look for us. It's like other nations are counting on us to fail as a nation. That's why we in the conditions that we are. That's why they keep setting up these traps and setting up different things for us to fall into. At one point, you could tell a child, hey, I'm gonna tell your parents. Half the time these parents not even in the household. Most of the time people hook up. They ain't really trying to establish nothing like that. Just hook up culture thing that's going on now. This garbage, and it might not hurt the two people, but they hurting that child. That child grew up. That child could come up to be a terrorist, and in their own neighborhood, man, just wicked and evil. And then when the child is already like that, as they grow, you can't tell that child nothing no more. They gonna take you for a joke. You done let me party and live this and smoke this and shoot this in my veins and drink and wild out and steal cars. And when I got in trouble, all you did was bail me out and laugh like it was cool. It was funny. Now that I'm really unruly, not even you could say nothing to me and I'm listening. Now you wonder what's going on. That's what we gotta avoid, man. That's why this says you gotta chasten them children multiple times, man. Be on they behinds, man.
King. And it starts from home first. I agree with you. It starts from home first. But what I look at in the world, in society, I have been told this lesson, like I had to change the cycle, the vicious cycle that my family been thrusted in. I didn't know how to do that, King, because even though mom's raised me good and did everything she can do, but she was raised me in the Christianity of that faith, which was not going to change no cycle for me in my life. I had to re-educate myself to the world, to the system. Everything I learned as a child, coming up through high school, through college, I had to change up everything I learned because it was all wrong. A lot of it was truth, but a lot of it was geared to other nations having authority and power over people that look like myself, that suffered atrocities in this world coming up. I didn't know how to break the cycle, Ken. I was part of that cycle, and it kept going, and it goes on and on and on throughout the generations. So I have not seen a people or a newer individual that was working towards changing that vicious cycle. I'm gonna just keep it a stack. You and you know, your rib, your wife, your children. That is the first I've ever seen in changing a vicious cycle, because they learning something that what we learn as children, they will never get that wicked knowledge. Like my brother, he raised his daughter in quote unquote, he's Muslim, but he's raised her in an Islamic school. But as Israel, we have to understand who we are as a people to truly, utterly change from the viciousness of this world, man. There's not, they already want to erase us. They already say that we don't exist. They already say that, and this was Confederate. This was they was Confederate to come together, all of these other nations, to act like we don't exist. We're not the children of the Most High. We're not the apple of his eye. We're not the ones that he chose to be over every nation in the world, that we're the greatest. And they want to erase us off the map like we don't exist. So the vicious cycle it started with me, but going through that vicious cycle, it was only the Most High to wake me up to be like, I had to change. Yeah, my son is grown now. My daughter is grown now. But if I had this knowledge that I have now today, it would have been a different course of action. So right now, as I live today, I don't see a lot of families, a lot of men, Israelite women, raising their children up in this truth to have the knowledge and the wisdom that the Most High wants us to have. Because the Most High he winks at our sin. He looks at, when we look back on
wink at our ignorance.
I come. And when we look back in the commandments, the Most High looks throughout the generations to see who hate him and thousands of those that love him. So throughout the generations, it's going to be on my son he's about to be married. He's going to have children. How's my grandchildren going to be raised in this vicious world? They're going to be raised under Christianity belief, because my son, he got some knowledge, but part knowledge and some knowledge is not full knowledge to me. If you have half of the equation of the answer to something, you really have half knowledge. You don't fully have it. So it's good to have all of it. And our people have been dumbed down, believing what these idolatrous nations been teaching us in the Old Testament, in the New Testament, with the apostles and even from the disciples Christ was going into these nations to bring our people out from these idolatrous, wicked ways, man. This is a long journey fight. It's not going to stop until Yahweh shall come back. And the Most High has given us a chance to wake up, to choose today whom we're going to serve. And, it's a misfortune that we see our people has been destroyed for lack of knowledge. And that's the work of the evil and the wickedness in the world, man. So it's important that we raise our people up. Us as the prophets go out teaching our people to come back to the Most High, because we are the bride, the Yahweh is the groom, and that union not going to be one. It's not going to be right until we, as the bride of Yahweh, are right. We have to get it right, man. We have to get it right. I just want to say that. It doesn't. It can start from we teaching the children, but look how many generations of children there are. I'm a child. You're a child. All of us on here are children of someone. And then we have children coming up behind us, and we got grown children that's going to have children. Those are generations. When are we going to break the vicious cycle so our people can wake up? And I have to wake up. Wake up. The wife, wake up. The children, wake up. The grandchildren, we have to wake up. Even those that's beside us. They're somebody's mother, father, or child, some form of fashion. But we all, in the Most High's eyes, I always tell a grown adult, man, you're a child yourself. You ain't even but 50 years old. What? You're a baby compared to him. How Yahweh sees us as children. 1,000 years to him is one day to us, and one day to us is 1,000 years to the Most High. So we don't. Our life expectancy is only 120 years. A lot of us don't even make it past 20, 30, and die young, die without no knowledge, no wisdom, no anything. They just dumb down, destroyed for lack of knowledge. And a lot of adults from my age on up, 50 plus up, are dumbed down to this idolatrous, wicked nation, man. And we got to get it right through the scripture, the roadmap, the guide, the historical book of us, who we are, to get it right. And we got to humble ourselves as a little child to learn, man. Children need structure. Children want structure. If they don't have no structure, man, they destroy the house, man. They destroy everything. They think they're doing what's right, but they're being a destructive mode because they don't have no structure. Children need structure. We as human beings need structure. I just want to say that.
So Lagi, one thing too, before I jump to the next scripture on this one right here, man. This also states that if you don't discipline your children, you hate your children, man. You know, here it says the word son, because Hebrew, translating from Hebrew to English, Hebrew is a majority masculine language, but this is also going into your children, right? If you don't discipline them, you know, beat them with that belt, man. If they need it, if the crime fit the punishment, that's what they need to get, man. You know, but if you once you do discipline your children, that shows you love them, because you don't want them just to fall in the hands of anything, man. You can't allow your children, your family, to just fall into the hands of anything, right? And like some people, they don't want to beat their children because they don't want to hear them cry or something like that, or you know, all these excuses, you know. But let's see what the scriptures say, right? X, you good to read?
Yeah, I got you.
This is Proverbs chapter 19, verse 18.
Chasten thy son while there is hope, and let not thy soul spare for his crime.
Why they still hope, man? Get them while they're young. Can't wait till they get older. Why it's hope? Why it's hope for their child, man? You know, don't let your soul spare for this crying or her crying. They're supposed to cry. They're supposed to feel pain and know what it's like. Because at the end of the day, you don't discipline your children. Your children grow up and they fall in the Most High's hand, and you could have prevented that. The Most High going to punish you too, because the Most High tell us in Ezekiel, we got to warn our people, right? What better way to start out learning how to do that other than disciplining your own children? You know, you got to let your children know, hey, you know, this is not it's not something I'm doing to be abusive or anything, but all I'm telling you, all I'm trying to get you right, man, because you don't know what this world has in store for you. You fall into the hands of you know, of the law out here, man. If you think you got it bad with me, you're really gonna have it bad. You know, so falling into the Most High's hand for him to deal with you, that's the last thing you want, man. And that's something through the scriptures we got to instill in our children, so they know, man, look, I definitely don't want that. Oh, the Most High did what to who? Oh, no, I don't want that. I don't want to deal with that. Right? Let me grab the next scripture. So we're gonna jump into Proverbs 15:5. Proverbs 15, verse 5. Kind of, if you can read that up.
A fool despiseth his father's instruction, but he that regardeth reproof is prudent.
Only a fool not gonna want to take them instructions. You know, not everybody them. You know, we don't all make mistakes and make errors. You know, your parent tell you not to do something, you do it, you find out the hard way. But from there, man, once you don't decide to change, and you just continue doing the same thing over and over, you know, a wise parent would just wipe his hands. Look, I've done all I can for my child. You know, I beat him when he needs to get beaten, or her when she needs to get beaten. They just real stiff neck. You know, let it go, man. He's gonna be in the Lord's hand, as my grandma used to say. You don't want to listen, you're gonna fall in the Lord's hand, and you don't want to do that. You know, and the stuff she used to read to us when we was younger, you know, some scary things to me. It's like, wow, the Most High did that to children. Like, oh man, yeah, because the Most High ain't nothing to play with. So I had from a young age, I never believed in that saying, or wanted to be a part of that. Only God could judge me, because I know when the Most High did with me, I wanted to be, because I've been good, man. You know, I honored my mother and father. You know, I took heed to my father's instructions, heed to my mother's instructions. You know, I wasn't, you know, just rambunctious and doing my own will, going about my own way. Right. And some things as you mentioned earlier, Q, like our parents might not have known this truth, but a lot of them they did have common sense to know right from wrong. You know, just commonly, you know, your everyday way on how you deal with people. You know, you don't have to be disrespectful to somebody, you know, whether you like them or not. You just got to fly off the handle and talk to anybody any kind of way. Or one thing, if I see my mother in an argument with one of her friends or something, that don't give me the right to have something against them. My mother straightened me out quick. And oh, I heard you didn't speak to such and such. Oh, but you were just cussing them out the other day. So you a child, saying the child's place. You don't understand that. And then later you see them talking again, they friends again, just misunderstanding. When I got older, I started saying that. Sometimes I had disagreements with some of my friends. We might not talk for like a day or two. They're like, man, this is stupid, man, you know. And we make amends on it. And it ain't something that you stay stuck on. And a lot of times children don't get that, man. Children don't understand it. Or some people even use their children as pawns out here. You know, they put their children out there in harm's way and they dare you to touch them or do something to them so they can do something to you. Some people don't care about that, man. Some people will put you and your children to sleep permanently. So that's also not using wisdom. So as a something my father told me when I was younger, when you have children, don't let your children just hang out with anybody. You know, everybody's not gonna be your friend. Some people are gonna have a problem with you. Some people are gonna pretend to like you, you know. Another thing my grandfather told me, man, you know, most of the people you grow up with, you're gonna grow apart from them. You might have been cool with these people in elementary school, maybe all the way to high school, but somewhere along the line, people's lives take different turns. You know, if this person ain't a person of God, trying to even know who the Most High is, and this is beyond just saying, oh, before you know the truth, it's like I said, just regular common sense. If somebody don't have any type of goodwill towards the Most High, they can't be good to you. You know, they straight on demonic devilish stuff, man. So as children, we gotta honor the instructions of our parents, man. We gotta listen to them. No, we can't hate reproof when somebody's correcting us and trying to get us right.
Come.
All right. Let me get on Proverbs 22. Proverbs 22 and 15. Amawanya, you wanted to read?
Sure, I'll read.
Let me put this up. Proverbs 22 and 15.
Hold on, where?
Proverbs 22 and verse 15.
Okay. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from him.
Come, beat the foolishness out of them. You know, get it out of them, man. And that's expected in children because a young child, they don't know nothing. So of course, everything to them gonna be funny. They're not gonna be taking too much things serious. That's when you get them in line. You talk to them, you straighten them out. You know, whether it's you have a serious conversation with them, or you gotta pop them, or you know, put that belt on them. You got to do something to let them know. Right now, yeah, you're a child. You can have your fun, but as a child, this is not even appropriate for a child. You know, not even an adult to be like this or act like that. You know, some children do take things overboard. You tell them no, and I've seen this many times in stores, and more so nowadays than when I was younger. You know, I wouldn't dare go to the store and act up, right? I wouldn't show my ass in no damn store. I knew I'm gonna get my ass beat in the store, in the car, outside my house, going in. I'm getting beat all the way to the house, all the way up the steps into my room. I'm telling you, my folks did not play, man. My mother would beat the foolishness out of me. And then, hey, if it got one to my grandfather, my grandmother, my uncles, you know, hey, I would deal with them. Had to deal with them too. Man, you cut up where? You did what? Oh man, yeah. They beat the foolishness out of you, right? You had to get that foolishness out of your children, man. Yeah, you tell them, hey, it's time to eat. Nah, mom, I'm still playing my game. What? I could never say nothing like that. Oh, get out of my room. You know, before I came to the truth, I probably was like about 15 or 16. I went to this camp, and camp was full of Edomites, man. So I went to this white dude house. I'm there, and I didn't believe it till I seen it, man. This man's mother came in his room we playing the game. When I say this dude cussed his mother out so bad, man, I'm thinking she was going to hit him or something. All she did was apologize. I'm like, what? He's like, man, you don't tell your mother to get out your room. She coming in. I'm like, first of all, I wouldn't dare say nothing like that, man. After that, I ain't hanging around that dude no more, man. I like, man, you on your own, man. I stayed the hell away from them folks, man. Never again. And I told my mother that. My mother like, you'll be dead in this room if you thought of it. I'm like, I know. I could see my obituary. Hey, he was a good child for a little while. Then he messed up, and we had to bury him young.
And that type of upraising, King. Children not only, like you say, did not just get handed to their mama, but it might have been somebody that their mama knew outside that like, you know what, you're so. My aunt handled me. My aunt wore me out, and then like go outside and play. After she wore me out, like you the whole child, Slim. Like she handled me like a rag doll, King.
Yeah.
And gave it to
Grab
me.
that
Gave me the business out, and then say go ahead outside and play. And then when my mother heard about it, I got it again because that's her baby sister. Like what? She had to grip you up, put hands on you. My aunts and uncles, they handle business. They handle business. And if my mother find out from my grandmother that, my grandmother pretty much could handle, anything. She handled all the grandkids, but she ain't even really had to tell my mother that, look, I disciplined them because they already knew. My mother already knew, like, if we leaving you with mama, you gonna be straight. Grandmother didn't play. She did not play. So we knew how to respect elders back then coming up. Like when we dared not to disrespect the next door neighbor or someone around the block, it's gonna get, bro, that word may get back. If that word get back, you're gonna get it 100 times, man. And I've been handled by aunts and uncles, man, and really they put the thrashing on my behind. Raised it and respected our elders, man. Like we refrain our tongue from what folly from even being disrespectful to it. It was very disrespectful to disrespect the elder in our speech, let alone how we act. Man.
I could definitely relate. My aunts and them, they ain't play either, man. Like I said, they took turns, man. Hey, but one thing, I ain't never been in no serious trouble, man. And it's all because when I hang out with friends when I was younger, if I see they about to do something, and I know if I follow them and do that, hey, look, man, you go ahead, man. I'm telling you, I might not even see you no more if I do that too, man. I might turn up. You might never see me again, man.
I see you so well.
I might get the spirit beat out of me, man.
Man.
I got some more scriptures I'm gonna go through.
And you right. Like I have witnessed, I've had some white friends in the past that had the same spirit, same nature against their mother, man. I mean, cuss them out, I a fool. I'm like, like it was,
like they the parent
to me. Yeah, it's culture shock to be around black people, and then you go around and you go in the neighborhood and there's, you got white friends and you neutral with it. You don't know no racism or no hatred or nothing like that. And and they may not be raised like that, but it was a way how they raised their children too, man. These other cultures, these other nations, man, how they raise their children to get away with stuff, or some kids just won't even educated differently, raised differently. You look at these other countries, kids be in school all day long, all year round. They don't get no breaks like how we, the seasons and all that. So they discipline a little bit different than us, man. More educated, read good, and they might not see their parents maybe 2-3 times out the year because they're in a boarding school somewhere, getting disciplined, and getting, you know what I'm saying, getting right.
Military school,
yeah, something like that. So, but it's the Most High showing us how to raise our children, man, in this truth, man, to correct them so they won't go astray from Him, because the world is vast. They're gonna come around other cultures. They're gonna come around other nations of people that have discipline and reared their children in their way, the Most High want us, our children, be reared in the way He want them to go. So when they become of age, they will know. Moms wouldn't play, dads didn't play, family didn't play, and it was all about the Most High, man. First, foremost.
Come on. Oh yeah. This. Come. This is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 5. X, you want to read this?
And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him.
Oh. Keep going.
For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth.
Just like it says in Proverbs, but in Proverbs chapter 22, you know, if you love your child, you know, you're gonna discipline your child. The Most High, He loveth those, he disciplines those who he loves. It's the same thing. So that's showing that you have the love of the Most High in you when you do this. Because when the Most High put us in captivity all those times, He didn't do it, you know, just to show off, oh, I'm almighty and powerful. No, the Most High wanted us to get right, man. He did it for a purpose. You know, we got out of hand. Hey, back in captivity. All through the book of Judges, man. Every time we failed to keep the commandments, Most High had to put another nation over us. Let us remind us, you know, how this feels constantly. And He could have did away with us, you know, when we was in the wilderness. You know, Moses pleaded for us, hey, you know, remember Israel, who you have chosen. You know, and even say the Most High repented of Himself, you know, for wanting to do that, to just take us out and start back with Moses. You know, which shows if the Most High can, you know, take back something that He said or wanted to do for us, we got to also have that in our hearts too, man. That's all showing the Most High's heart, man. The Most High is not just a something that we just gotta have fear for, and there's no love in the Most High. You know, discipline is love, and that's why I say, man, anytime you think not disciplining your children, especially because of what the law says in this country, what you failing to realize is you setting your child up for a great downfall. You know, they're gonna be lawless. They're not gonna listen to any instructions anywhere. You know, if you don't get them while they're young, they're gonna grow up. They're gonna do whatever the hell they want to do. You know, when I used to work at in the jail, man, in DC, a lot of the juveniles coming there, their parents, they would mention, well, I bought you everything you wanted, all the video games, all the shoes, all the jackets, everything you wanted. We done went on vacations and trips and stuff. And I'm like, man, you spoiling your child. So that child feel like, hey, no matter what I do, my mother gonna buy me some shoes for me to act right. Yeah, I'm gonna act right for a little bit until I get what I want, and then I'm gonna cut up again. And it become like a daggone it become going around in a circle doing the same thing, the revolving door. Your child cut up, they get what they want. You know, they cool for a little bit, they cut up, they get what they want. You know, I didn't know what a pair of Jordans was until I was old enough to work to buy my own damn pair of Jordans. Or maybe one of my aunts or something bought it for me. My mother was there having it. You know, I'm not gonna buy you Jordan money. I got Jordan money for you. And even if she did have, she wouldn't do that. No, I had to wear whatever it was at Payless, man. But as I got older, I respected that because it's like, you know what? I would waste my time, you know, trying to support somebody else's life, trying to help build somebody else up, and not consider myself, nor my family, because that's how we grew up with this careless way of spending, right? That's a big thing. We just grow up, we buy whatever fancy thing is out there for our children, and then later on, we don't have nothing, you know? And it's not saying you can't have nice things. You got to have discipline about it. You know, if I'm going to invest in something, you know, if it's beneficial to me, cool. You know, hey, I play sports, I need a nice pair of shoes to play and run around in, or I run track, I need a nice pair of cleats or whatever. You know, those are reasons that's cool to have that. But just to be out there sporting, just to saying you got it, especially if you ain't earned it, All that's garbage, man. You continue reading that verse 7.
If ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the father chasteneth not?
Come. It's like, hey, if you don't discipline your child, the Most High didn't deal with us like he did. It's like we're not even the Most High's people. What your power don't discipline you? Oh man, that don't make sense. Though he's the only living power. These other nations ain't got no power in their idols. But with your father, your mother, if your parents love you, they're going to discipline you. It's in verse 6, where it says, for he the Lord, it's like, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth. Right? It's all love, because they say God is love, right? In the scripture, we going through the scriptures where the Most High is telling us, instructing us to beat our children if they're going off, of course. Beat them. They're not gonna die because we're not doing that to be abusive to them. It's all about correction. Correct your child. That's what discipline is about. Correction. It's not just a thing that just loosely to be dealt with like that. All right. Read up. Keep going up. We're gonna go down to we're gonna go to verse 8. We start with verse 8.
But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then ye are bastards and not sons.
Read that one more time.
But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then ye are bastards and not sons.
You a fatherless child, man. You don't have no family. You don't have no parents, especially no father, because the father is the disciplinary. So you don't have no father. You do what you want to do. Even if you have, of course, a biological father, it's not even credited to you. It's like, man, you do what you want to do. Yeah, man, your father ain't worried about it. Nah. Man, I smoke weed, I party, I do everything with my dad. And you don't never say nothing. Nah. I've seen parents like that, man. Older parents than me who have children and let their children do whatever the hell they want to do. Fathers are just so loose with everything. And I'm like, man, though my father wasn't as heavy as a discipliner as my mother was, I still respected him. I think I remember like one beat, maybe 2 beats my father gave me. That was it, man. It was like, hey, I never play with you again. I would never play games with you again, man. You say do what? All right, hey, do your homework. Hey, it's done. You got it, man. You got it. All right. As a matter of fact, read verse 9 too. Like X. If you can read verse 9 for me too.
My bad, I was reading on mute.
Oh,
Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live?
Right. It's about honoring fathers in the flesh, So, like I said earlier, it's better to be disciplined by the father, by your earthly father, more so than the Most High, to the Father of spirits and live, right? So the Most High can do all types of things to you. And I'm telling you, just me knowing the scriptures the way I know it, man, you don't want the Most High to be the one to judge you in that manner, man. But when the Most High judges you, it's, hey, ain't no holding back. If we through last week, when the Most High got you in his hand, can't nobody pry you out of his hand. Police may be able to come and save you from your parents beating you. But what you think the police are gonna do to the Most High? Nothing at all. So it's better, hey, take the correction from your father. Take the correction from your parents. And parents, don't be so soft and lighthearted, man. And I don't want to do this to my child, man. No, it's not abuse, man. What's abuse is when you let your child go off and do whatever, and hey, they end up dead most of the times. Somebody snatch your little girl up, they end up finding her body. Somebody done took advantage of her, and it's sad that those things happen. But hey, you never showed your child the seriousness. Hey, I don't want you hanging out all types of night. You only about 13, 14 years old. I don't want you hanging out like that. Let me let's get some order in here. Right? Go out, you do what you want. I got something for you.
Can I add something to that, King?
Go ahead.
I want to reference back to Hebrews 12:6, verse 6 is no, Salaki. It's a precept to verse 7. Hebrews. I'm gonna just read 7 again. It says, if you endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the father chasteneth not? So what you're saying, like, it's good. So a lot of boys are not chastised by their fathers. So they get into mischief, they get into things that the world will deal them something that is horrible. So the Most High has a precept to that for fathers that don't discipline their son, because the father gonna discipline us. He's gonna deal with us as men. And if we have sons, the Most High the Most High's gonna chastening us as fathers to not chasing our sons. And the precept, it goes back to Deuteronomy 8:5. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 5. It reads, thou shalt also consider in thine heart that as a man chasteneth his son, so the Lord thou God chasteneth thee. So it's like an ongoing thing. To the Most High gonna be checking us as men to chasing our sons. And the precept goes over, it continues to 2 Samuel 7:14, and it reads.
Let me pull that up. 1 second. You said 2 Samuel?
2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 14.
All right, go ahead. I got it.
So, come. 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 14. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men and with the stripes of the children of men. The Most High got a way of dealing with us. We could be out the way, being raised in this world, the governing world gonna deal with us when we out of line and breaking the law. So those men gonna chastise us. They're gonna deal with us. That's the Most High dealing with us as well, because it's the way of the land. It's the way how it's supposed to go. We want to keep our sons from committing those iniquities and things that will cause them to be caught up with man-made laws. God's still gonna deal with them. That's why you see a lot of brothers locked up, sisters too, locked up for not hearkening unto the voice of the Most High, not being in line. They might have got away with so much. Now they behind us handed over to the law. They still chastise. They may get some time. Now they got time to sit down and think, when they could have been corrected by their fathers or mothers before even getting into that situation to be chastised in the world. Now they're sitting down, re-looking back on their life like that. I should have did this. I should have did that. I should have done this. And they get all religious, or they start getting into these religious groups, or if they're not right now right with the Most High, they're gonna go off. The Most High says they're gonna go off. They're gonna be chastised some form of fashion by the Most High, humbled by the Most High. We always gonna be humbled by the Most High, no matter how big and bad we think we are. The Most High have a way of reckoning and dealing with us. But we as fathers having children, the Most High want us to check them, because the Most High gonna check us on it, man. We can be broken as a parent, and our sons caught up, or our daughters caught up, and we broken because we like, man, I should have been a little bit more firm. I should have been this way. I should have been that way. Maybe Timmy, maybe Tina wouldn't have gotten to this situation out here in the world because I didn't tighten up on them. I didn't chastise them the way I was supposed to chastise them. The Most High could chastise a father for not chastising his son that's caught up in the world, and the father still want to deal with, the heavenly father still going to deal with that son that's out there in the world, that the father of the flesh did not deal with him. The Most High going to deal with him spiritually. And we see this all the time. You've been a correctional officer, you know what I'm saying? I've been in the system, you know what I'm saying? Like, Dang, I should have listened to my mother. Dang, I should have listened to my father. Too late. Now I got to deal with what the Most High allowing these nations to deal with us how they want to deal with us, man. You know, and that's a part of chastening, man. And then I want to get my life right in the Word. You know what I'm saying? How long is it going to take an individual man or woman to get right in the word of the Most High? We could do it as they start at home with our parents through the children, making sure they don't get into mischief, iniquity, to turn away from this truth. You know, so that's why it's not good to withhold that rod from that child, because men of the world going to hand them that rod. You know what I'm saying? To correct him.
They're gonna get it
He's
somehow.
gonna be broken. He could be broken in the system. You know what I'm saying? It's no telling how he may be broken. He may be broken physically in the manner that he get it right, or broken in a manner physically where he's destroyed as a man. You know what I'm saying? It's messed up when we don't humble ourselves with this truth and with the word, man. That's it. That's all. I'm in my mind. That's it.
Not kind. I'm gonna jump back real quick. I think this is what you put up. Shaka War. Was it Ecclesiastes 4:12?
Con.
I'm a one. You want to read this?
Okay.
Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 12.
And if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him, and the threefold cord is not quickly broken.
Yeah, it's like you got the village raising the child, you know, the community, and that's how we were set up back then, man. You know, even in the 90s, the 80s, your early the mid 90s, man, it was like that, man. Like the community, they could deal with you, man. That's how it's supposed to be, man. And this is part of the reason why a lot of us, our children, are just doomed, man. You know, this is what's going to contribute to that 2/3. You know, just children going off, they grow up like that, right? Let's see, read verse 13 too.
Better is a poor and a wise child than an old and foolish king who will no more be admonished.
Yeah. It's better to have wisdom to have riches, you know, in any day, man. Any day. I think Job said it best, man. Job wasn't worried about, you know, all the goodly things of the land. You know, all I had to do was honor the Most High. I'm gonna get, you know, what I need on the daily, man. The Most High ain't gonna forget me. I know that. And a lot of us forget that, man. We want it right now, man. You know, big situation, man. I know me and my family, we was going through a little something, man. And the Most High came through for us. It took some time, man. Over a year. You know, I was worried, man. I was panicking. I was like, I don't know what to do with this, you know, do with that, man. How we gonna take care of this and take care of that? And Most High showed up, man. It's just like Most High always there on time. Always there. You know, not probably when you want it, but the Most High know exactly what he's doing, man. It's being in the wilderness, man. We crying out. You know, we hungry. We don't have this. We need that, man. And just that quick, man. You know, you just forget, man. And sometimes children don't know what's good for them. That's why you got to teach them what's good for them. You know, having the best of the best all the time ain't necessarily good. You know, not knowing how to work for and earn things on yourself, it's a bad thing, right? So it's always good to instill your children with wisdom and knowledge, man. And just like being a foolish king, you know, look at Saul, man. Saul wasn't all the way right. Most High gave him instructions when he go to war, man. Take everybody out, man. Everybody, you know, kill all of them, kill all the of Amalek for what they did to us. Kill them all. You know, he seen some good robes and some jewelry. You know, he done captured the king and all of that stuff, man. No, he wasn't fully listening to what the Most High said. You know, just like today, man. You know, the Most High may call some of us to do some work, man. And you know, be like, oh man, no, I don't think I can do that. Look at Jonah. The Most High was sending Jonah to Nineveh to go warn the people. You know, warn the I think it was the tribe of Naphtali over there in the city of Nineveh. You know, Job ain't want to do it. The Most High swallowed him up in that well, took his ass there, man. And it's better that the Most High did it that way, you know, than you know, put Jonah to death, man. And I'm pretty sure, you know, as you read that story, man, you know, Jonah was good after that, man. Though he was rebellious, because it can go either way with the Most High. With our parents, you know, our parents don't have the power to do anything to us other than discipline us. Even if they do take our lives, that's a wrap for them. Ain't nothing else they can do. But the Most High keep dealing with you, you know, even in your death. That's something that's something that you don't want to happen. No, you shouldn't want to know how far that goes. It should just be just that, right? So you got another one, Proverbs 29:15 up.
Con.
All right. Number one, you want to read this for me? Proverbs 29 and verse 15. We're gonna go to verse 18.
All right. How you said 15, right?
Come 15 to verse 18.
The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth, but the righteous shall see their fall. Correct thy son, and he should give thee rest. Yeah, he should give delight unto thy soul. Where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he.
Exactly. You know, the rod of correction, man. You know, it's reproof. You know, gives wisdom. Hey, you know, I know better not to do this, not to do that. You know, also in this kingdom too, you do something, you get caught, you get locked up. You know, being in jail, ain't that nice about that. Even if don't nobody ever bother you, man. Just imagine you inside of a cell. You can't you can't open the door when you want to. You can't walk out the facility and go home. You can't eat what you want to eat. You can only take a shower, get on the phone, you use whatever activities, whatever places they have there. You know, if they allow you to. You know, you got a lot of tons of restrictions, man, tons of restrictions. You know, and people that do violate, all they do is get more time. You know, they get institutionalized in that stuff. They think there's always nothing wrong with that, right? But to avoid all of that, you got to get that discipline, man. Show your children wisdom, man. You know, it says, but a child left to himself, like I said, letting the child do whatever they want to do, man. Bring a shame, bring up his mother's shame, you know. And that's mainly because the mothers are the ones that's more with the children than us as men. So that's not something you want to do, bring shame to your mother, you know, because the mother a lot of time is the one that's more supportive, you know, in different circumstances. You know, the mother's around you a lot more. The mother's the one that takes you to the doctor. Hey, nurses you back to health. You know, you feeling well. The mother's the one that goes shopping for you, cooks for you, you know, wipe your snotty nose. You know, those are things right there that a child should never forget, man. Now, not all mothers, you know, all good mothers. Some mothers, you know, don't do that. Like I said, today's world is so corrupt. But think about it, man. On your end as a person, man, from your childhood to your adulthood, you never want to bring shame to your mother, man. Never. Because it ain't gonna end well with the Most High. You know, that's not honoring your mother. Bring shame to your mother. It's not honoring her. Number one, if you read verse 16 for me again.
You said 16?
Come.
When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth, but the righteous shall see their fall.
Come. So all of those people around us, we see it, you know, everything they doing, man. Everything. Yeah, the transgression, them sins is just growing on them. But we knowing this word, we know the end of their life, you know how that's gonna go, man. We know it ain't gonna end well. You know, you have your fun now. Okay, yeah, you having all your fun. Live it up, man. Do what you want to do. But when that time comes, you're gonna wish you had never done any of that stuff. You know, you're gonna wish you never even knew what the word gay was or lesbian was, any of that stuff. Huh. It's like I'm one. You had a question?
Now I was just gonna say that in this kingdom, Esau takes the parents' right to discipline their child, but they have all the right to discipline our children for us when they put them in jail.
Yeah. And kill them.
Yeah, that's it.
And kill them. Yep. No, they do that whenever. All right. Read verse 17 for me again.
Correct thy son, and he should give thee rest. Yeah, he should give delight unto thy soul.
Because when you correcting your children, man, they're not gonna worry you. You know, you ain't gonna hold your head in shame like, oh man, my child again, man. Hey, this is the 5th time we had to call you to the school. Your child was caught doing this, or you going to a store. Hey, your child was caught shoplifting. Oh my goodness, that look bad on you as a parent, as a person in general. They go like, hey, what kind of person are you? Your child thrown out of school constantly, get locked up for stealing out of stores. You know, being a bully, using drugs, just wilding out. That looks extremely bad on the parent. Ain't nothing good about that. Aki, you had a question?
Somewhat exactly what sis was speaking on while you were speaking on, as far as we not having that discipline in the household to chastise our children, and then the system they gonna do it for us. I never got into a debate with this individual person, but he feels like it's not good to put hands on the child because it causes trauma to that child, and they grow up with that trauma. And I guess what he say is like, some kids get immune to them spankings, those beatings. But I think that comes from a parent not knowing how to really truly rear their children and discipline them the right way. Because he feel as though he spent half his life in prison. He raised his daughter where he don't put hands on her. She's not a bad child. You know, I do see her sassing and stuff like that. But, you know, as a child, they do things like that. So here it is, when sis was talking about society raising our children, they look at, quote unquote, the psychological traumas that the child may have been through because they didn't got their butt wore out. They keep doing this and doing that. Now, I'm gonna look at that as a spirit on that child. It could be a lunatic spirit on that child that just causing this child to do this and do that, and the spankings don't work no more. Now this child is in his mind mentally, and it's a physical thing. I feel like we made up of 3 parts: mental, physical, and spiritual. Now, Satan has that gateway to get in because that parent is not raised to understand doctrine to chastise their child the right way, or even be able to lay hands on their child, pray over their child, cast, spirits, they real, man. Wicked ones and wicked spirits, they're good spirits. So I've seen a lot of parents, it's not just of other nations, but our people, man, talk to the child like the child is an adult. I mean, cussing the babies out. But that parent may not have been reared and raised in this truth to know how to do that. So that's a psychological trauma on that individual person. Then it's passed down to that child. And this is where it comes in that the Most High say his people are destroyed for lack of knowledge because we seek them not knowledge. A lot of those damn things fall on us as a nation because we have not been reared and raised in doctrine in this truth to know how to discipline our children. I totally disagree, with the individuals like saying, I ain't gonna never beat my child. It's a psychological trauma. We take the child through this and the child through that. But when you know right, you do right. When you're a child, you think like a child. When you become a man, you put away childish ways. It's a mature thing that we grow out of certain things. So some parents is not good parents that have raised it to children is kind of like running things. They don't know how to discipline a child. Their discipline might be maybe knock a tooth out or something, or grab a baseball bat and slug on them. But there's a right way and a wrong way to do everything. When we're raising a child, you want to start with them young to doing it the right way, and with chastise them the way that the Most High wants to chastise them, not in a way where they're being abused like you were speaking on earlier, but really, taking it to the behind, chastising them when they're young, 2, 3 years old, rearing them up. Because if there was a scripture, I didn't bring it out, but a precept where it was speaking of when we don't chastise our children, correct them in the right manner, they grow up feeling like it's all right of the things that they doing, and it can be a detriment to them later, and they don't know it, and they're going to folly, and then as Sis was saying, the system got them, and now they're gonna be disciplined and raised by the system. Even they can even be killed in that vicious cycle. So a lot of our people, Hosea 4:6, are destroyed for lack of knowledge because we don't seek the Most High knowledge. It trickles down throughout the generations. So that's what that vicious cycle I was talking about earlier, that those atrocities happen to us as a people, because if we don't have this doctrine, we don't have this truth, we could go astray, man. The Most High is stern and firm. You know what I'm saying? He looks at the iniquity of the children throughout the generations, that those that love him and those that hate him. When we're not rooted and grounded in his word, the Most High look at it, we don't hate him. And yeah, our forefathers may have missed it, but when does that vicious cycle stop? Because the Most High wake us up to this truth, to be able to raise our children in this truth, so that they can grow up the right way versus grow up the wrong way. Because I've seen plenty of mothers snatching their kids up. They got the children have on expensive gear, like a designer gear, and they handling them children like as if they were like they old enough to comprehend like these vicious words that's said at them. And not only physical abuse hurts, but mental. That's a form of mental abuse. When you talk to them in a way that's not in a disciplinary, correct disciplinary way, I should say. A lot of our children suffer from that. So a lot of parents don't know how to raise their children in this truth and let them get away with everything. I know some sons that be like, their mother knew they was out there banging, but if they was able to help with bills in the house and help with this, moms let them go ahead and do what they gotta do. Fathers like, maybe be alcoholics, maybe, drug addicted or whatever. And, they may try to say something to their sons too late. The son, up in age a little bit, like, man, Pops, he ain't got no respect for Pops. You know what I'm saying? Pops is an alcoholic and drug abuser, womanizing, and he doing all kinds of crazy stuff. He ain't gonna respect that. So that chastening is lost. And the Most High will chastise whom he loved. And it's just a vicious cycle that, we may have some men and women go through that vicious cycle, then they awaken to this truth, to realize that they went the wrong way, they had a negative upbringing, and, but those are some of the ones that the Most High really used as his disciples, used as his messengers. The hardest of the hardest, we broke and be like, man, look, I've been and done it, And I know men that are witnesses to that, as well as myself being a witness to that, not to say I was raised up wrong or whatever, but I made my own bed, and I had to lie in it and deal with the consequence that came with that. But I was just fortunate the Most High woke me up to realize, like, man, you going the wrong way. You doing, I had a conscience, knew what was right from wrong, but I chose to do what I wanted to do. But I was chastised, but a lot of times, the choices that I made, I knew this word, but not the way I know and how it's supposed to be had taught to me. I was given it, I was introduced to it, and I just had a foundation that I can go back to it. Just by being fortunate, and I look at the Most High doing that. If it wasn't for the Most High to have me relate to a brother that was in this truth, I would have never been woke up. I probably, the Most High used that brother like, look, he in this truth, and was able to connect with him, and, iron sharpen iron. If not, I trusted this brother because from childhood, and 20, 30 years passed, we ain't seen each other, this and that, then I finally run person, he in this truth hard. So I was like, wow, this word is real, because I know the kind of person he was in the world, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a fortune. And I went through hardships in and out the system and our system. Whatever hardships he went through outside in the world, it still woke him up. I was awakened to connect with the brother and be like, yeah, this word is true. And a lot of people in the world I knew, you know what I'm saying, it changed me. And I had to go through some chastising throughout my life growing up, getting whipped going through this, going through that, to realize that the Most High is real, Yahushua real, this word is real, and gravitated to even more. Even me, even meeting you, Ak, like just growing to be able to see the Most High working out my, helping me work out my soul salvation in this earth realm, 10 toes flat. And, I had to go through some hard knocks to realize this truth. And a lot of our brothers and sisters gonna go through them same atrocities, them same things that wake us up. So this is a great lesson, because it would teach our brothers and sisters that's younger, generations coming up behind us, how to really rear their children in this truth. And the most important thing is doing it the way the Most High wanted to be done. We have to have that solid foundation with our Father, Yahweh, to understand that this is for correction for us. Because we can go off in our own mind, man. Look at the world we live in, man. It's a fortune that we hear on the Sabbath Shabbat day to be getting this truth like this, man. Because it could be a misfortune that we not getting it. There's a lot of people in the world that's not getting this truth, man. They're just not awake, man. They still sleep, with the pillow fluffed up and the covers over their head, man. They still sleep. They not awake to this truth. It's a blessing and fortune that we can sit down and come together and really talk about the Most High and how to rear our children into this truth, man. Because it's needed, it's important. Because like you say, they are the future, and we want them to go the right way. We want them to be awake. We want them to be able to be teachers and schooling others and teaching others this truth, man. That's in black and white and red.
Yeah. Facts, man. That's how that's how it should be, man. Like our children, if your children don't fear you, man, they're not gonna fear the Most High, for one. That's a big thing, man. If you're just like, if your wife don't respect you, she don't fear the Most High. All in order, man. And that's how our life is, man. There is no skipping no levels, man. You gotta go through all these different levels in life, but you gotta have discipline. That's a thing, man. That's so far gone from our people nowadays. Just mentioning that, it's just like it's a foreign language, man, or it's like a word that nobody understand or get. Just dealing with the word submissive, being submissive to our women. Oh, that's slavery. Nah, that ain't slavery. Because you say you love the Most High. The Most High commanded you to do certain things, and listen. The Most High deal with you. So like, you had a question, Amawanya?
Now, I was just gonna say that we all have to remember that our children can easily get spirits, especially since they're younger. They'll get them more than us, and they won't know how to battle it since they're still young. So it's our job to know that, so we can know how to deal with it.
Kind of true words, man. What words of wisdom, and that's why you teach your children the scriptures, man. And it ain't like young children didn't have battles and stuff, spiritually. And there is a difference between a child just acting out or them really going through something spiritually. Them dealing with demons, man. Same thing with adults, man. It's a difference between, hey, this person is just a crazy killer, man, just to be like that, man. Some people got them spirits on it. Some people commit crimes and don't even know what they done, man. All they could do is cry. I witnessed that myself, man. Like working at the mental health block in the jail. I see people that just crying all day, man. Just about drug addiction. I don't know what happened, man. Like, I don't even remember what I did. And some of the stories I done read reports of certain things that certain these people do, and it just don't make no sense, man. You just got up one morning and just killed somebody. That was that. You don't even remember doing it. Nah, it's like that. So they put them on all this medication and stuff, which really don't help them. Because once the stuff wear off and it's not affecting them more, they go right back to their mental state again. But let's say, if you can read this for me. This is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 11. We're gonna go to verse 13.
My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son in whom he delighteth. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding.
Okay. At the end of the day, man, look, this discipline is not something to be frowned on. You know, and we read just a few scriptures back, man. You don't want your children stressing you out. You don't want the negative attention on yourself. So when your child does cleave to this wisdom and knowledge, you know, and I mean wisdom and knowledge of the Most High, and heeding your instructions, your correction, you know, all that can do is put a smile on your face, man. We're good, you know. It's a good thing for a man to have daughters, and it's like my daughter was not out here one of these girls sleeping around and just carrying on and doing whatever she wanted to. You know, ain't no, you know, that's what you want. Oh, my son don't. My son ain't out here just, you know, being all over the place. And everybody just look at him like, hey man, you know, that your child is a terrorist. You know, that's not something you want to have, you know, put as a mark on you. All right. So you had the question up?
Khan, I'm gonna go back exactly what you had reiterated on, speaking on what Amawanya was speaking on about protecting the children having, you know, spirits come on to them and things of that nature. And you witnessed brothers that have committed heinous acts and go through something psychologically. They are breaking down. They're on psychotropic medication, trying to control that spirit that overtook them in an act that they may have done. I wanted to go back on that because I'm in the you know, as a career working with the mentally ill, that I've had one-on-one conversation with therapists that pulled me up one-on-one and be like, she was a loss, like, because she's a therapist dealing with people that are mentally ill. So, but these individuals that are mentally ill do have spirits. Those real life spirits that's overtaking a person to commit heinous acts and not understanding how it happened, what overtook them, and they suffer with the medication. These doctors are quick to give them a script of medication. Sometimes they put them in a zombie type state where they not as active to continue to diagnose them, whereas medication can increase or decrease depending on their behavior. It's a lot of people in the world today walking around that has not been psychologically evaluated that are mentally ill. If they was evaluating me, they probably find something. They probably find a screw loose or something. But I'm functioning. A lot of us are functioning, but it's very important that we raise our children up in this truth, because if Satan want to jump on them at any cause, anything is going to get taken. It can be you hear a lot of Christians speak on, generational curses. Those generational curses are upon us from our forefathers walking away from this truth. And what will happen to us if we get away from this word? We can read about in Deuteronomy 28, the blessings of the Most High, and then the curses of the Most High. The curses are real. And we read now today, studying now today. We're not just reading and opening up and giving, but it's also like we're studying it as well, because it's applied to our lives to be rooted and grounded in this word, so that we can better raise our children, for those curses don't fall on them. Most High look throughout the generations of those that love him, again, like I've said before, and those that hate him. So we're truly dealing with demonic forces that want to overtake us. And you know, it starts with us as the parents to rear the children. It's good that we be rooted and grounded in this word, that we can raise them up and teach them the laws, commandments, how to go about doing things in the world according to doctrine, according to this book that's a mystery to the world. But to us, we enlightened with what the Most High has given us to understand it. So we are fighting spiritual warfare. We are at war, and the enemy do want our children. We can see that what's going on in the school systems today, in public schools and charter schools. What's going on? We can see it. How they come after our children, and in the world, the things that they subjected to. We're using this platform to bring knowledge and wisdom and understanding of this truth. But it's also these platforms, social media have a lot of wickedness on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like you can go down the wrong path and be caught up in a whole lot of wicked things that the cyber web, man, is that's connected around the world. So we gotta raise, we have to. There ain't no choice. The Most High warns us of these things and how we to chastise our child so they won't go the wrong way, because the enemy is right there to snatch them up, to grab them up. We got to be on point. If I'm not on point, how am I going to lead a woman that the Most High give me to lead, or children that the Most High give me to lead? And it's a detriment, and for the women to have children, to have husbands, to be respectful to that, man, and honor that level of respect. We honor Yahweh, we honor Yahweh the way we want our children to honor their mother, honor their father, honor Yahweh, honor Yahweh. And it's truth, man. It's an order. The Most High gives this order, and we're the responsible conduits to do it, man. To raise our family up in the way they, raise our children up in the way they're supposed to go, and it's truth. Raise the wives up in it's truth, man. And tend to be in subjection, be in order. I just want to say that, man, because that jumped out at me, because I deal with the mentally ill every day. I know the medications they on, and I know I got a whole rack of stories to tell you, like, what, this person did that? Are you serious? And you can think, man, the person wouldn't bust a grape in a food fight, man. But they have done some atrocity, some things that they mind snap, and they on medication, and they in this treatment and have to go through this and go through that, and and that's for life. And I look at it, the medicine not saving them. It's the relationship they have with the Most High, or how sovereign the Most High want to be unto that person to deliver them, to keep, to save them. I know a rack of stories, man. A lot of stories. I've been doing this over 30 years, man. And I've seen it and experienced it and been through it, where people have gone through, people that's under 24-hour supervision. They can never be all alone on their own. They might can go out in the world, but they got to report back and sign in and make sure they safe, because anytime they might be off their medication and those demons can flood them. How do they deal? How do they fight those psychological things, man? They not just psychological, they mental, and they physical, and they spiritual, and they have to deal with these things. So we want to protect our children. I thought that was a great question that Amwanya brought out, a statement that she brought out about our children, because we are supposed to protect them and cover them, because we living in a vicious place, man. So it's important that they have sound doctrine and knowledge of who they are and in this world, man, to better protect them. So, we know the enemy, is he on the destructive path. We can see that what's going on with our people around the world. And the Most High have to come back for us, man. These nations have turned up so much, man. They doing so much in the world. I don't, it might be off script a little bit, but my coworker mentioned in this, and I had a conversation with a sister. The food, just say Most High, we can look at the scriptures in Genesis, where the Most High gave us the plants and the herbs and the fruit for meat. Have you ever heard of them killing all the female trees, and the male trees give off the pollen? The pollen pollinates the female trees to grow the fruit on the trees. Now the female tree, because they're killing all the female trees, the pollen from the male trees is overpopulated. That's why a lot of people, their allergies kicking up and kicking on, because the pollen supposed to be like the sperm to the female tree. So now a lot of foods is being GMO tested and created in laboratories, not just the trees, but the animals too, man. So, you look at how society is doing things. We got to stay rooted and grounded in this truth, man, because they killed the female trees. Now the male trees giving up all this pollen, people getting sick. They more affected now than ever because the pollen is over is a big population of pollen. I wash my car 2-3 days later, it's full of pollen
Yeah.
all over the joint, man. So the female trees ain't getting what it's supposed to receive, man. That blew my mind. That made me want to go deep into some study with that to really look into that. But that's the common nature of the Most High. What's right now is wrong. What's wrong is right. They remove the female trees, and we can't get a fruit the way the Most High planted in earth for us to get it. You know what I'm saying? And our children is growing up in a society where they have to deal with this crap, man. They have to have knowledge of this doctrine to know how to better navigate in this world that they are being raised in, man. I'm looking for the Most High Kingdom to come up, and all this wickedness be done away with, man. It's wicked, man. It's destructive. We got to rear our kids up in this world like this, man. They got to know who they are, man. We got to teach them and protect them because it's vicious out here, man. It's vicious. So I appreciate you, honor you, man, for bringing this lesson about our children rearing them, man, in this truth, man, having them correct to know how to go, how to be, because the world out here trying to not only destroy us, destroy Israel, wipe Israel off act like Israel don't exist, like the Most High forgot about us and go honor these wicked nations out here, and they think they get a pass with wickedness to get into the gates, get the tree of life, man. That's a delusion, man. I just want to bring it up, man. Just want to bring it out, man.
All right. I'm gonna this is the last one I'm gonna have you read, and I'm gonna pass the reading to somebody else. This is our Apocrypha, Ecclesiasticus chapter 7, verse 23. You can go to verse 25.
Are you 23, 25?
Come.
Hast thou children, instruct them, and bow down their neck from their youth. Hast thou daughters, have a care of their body, and shew not thyself cheerful toward them. Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter, but give her to a man of understanding.
Now right there, this is something that I know this go over a lot of people's head, a lot of our people's head, man. It definitely shouldn't, man. Now earlier we talking about children growing up and them getting used to the discipline and it becoming traumatic. Now it's saying to bow down their head, discipline them just means from their youth. Like I said, young age, man. The younger you get your children in order, the better it is for them. As they get older, you don't have to worry about keep popping them, man. You gotta worry about keep telling them what to do and what not to do, as long as you start from a young age. And from a young age, even from like 1 year old, 2 years old, children, they learning to walk, to crawl, to walk, to feed themselves, to pick up cups and stuff like that. My little my young one right now, Malaya, he not even one yet, and he holding his own bottle. That's like amazing to me. But that's how the Most High work, man. He doing that right now. Next, he's starting to stand up. He trying to walk. He get around. He do what he got to do. He moving quick too. So, not necessarily at his age, but once he starts to stand on his own too, you start reading to your children. That's one thing that do help children a lot when you read to them. Read good things, of course. Read the scriptures to your children. Even if you think they're not listening, most time put a smile on my face. A few weeks back, I was reading to the little ones some scriptures, and as I finished reading, they all remembered everything I went through the scriptures, man. And like sometimes it is a struggle at first because children don't really give you their full attention right away. You do gotta be stern and yell at them. Sometimes you gotta let them know you mean business. But just to see them do that, and it's less and less that I have to, when it's time to read the scriptures, less and less I have to say anything to them. My daughters, they go get their head wraps. My sons, they attentive, they sit down, and I talk to them. I ask all of them questions, man. So what did I read about? What was the story about? And they all give me their reviews. Give me their little book reports, right? But yeah, here like I said, from your youth. Now I'm on. Can you read verse 24 for me again? This is something that's very important. Verse 24.
Hast thou daughters, have a care of their body, and shew not thyself cheerful toward them.
Hast thou daughters, right? This is extremely important because our women are the ones, the females of our nation, females any nation in general, but women in general, but we deal with our people. You know, if you're not on their backs about, you know, promiscuity, I can't even pronounce the word, being promiscuous.
Yeah, promiscuous curd. Yeah, promiscuous.
You know, they gone, man. They gone. You know, you can't laugh and think it's funny when you see your little daughters shaking their behinds and stuff, you know, listen to whatever the garbage is out here. And I've seen this when I was younger, but even more so now, it's even sicker because the age bracket of females acting like having this behavior is even younger. 3-4-year-old girls, you know, they should know nothing about that. Period. That should be far from their minds. But as he says, you have a care over your daughter's body. Our women's bodies are precious, man. Precious and holy to the Most High, right? We ain't supposed to have women that's been passed around, you know. And yes, a lot of us, you know, we done made errors in the world not knowing the truth. But now that we know this truth, we gotta pass this wisdom and knowledge to our children, you know, our daughters in this case. We gotta let them know this behavior is not acceptable. You know, so what? Somebody gonna pay you millions of dollars to shake your ass in front of a damn camera? You know, where's your morals at? Where's your self-respect? And then when dudes don't respect you, because that's what's gonna happen, the word get out that you use a type of female, the young lady that everybody just had their way with, do whatever they want with. You know, that's all you're gonna be. You know, something just to play with real quick. Ain't nobody gonna take you serious. You're gonna be a joke, right? It says, and shew not thyself cheerful toward them, right? And that's saying you can't have a good time with your child, but don't let that be the relationship with your child. Everything is a party. Everything is just always just wonderful. Oh, you know, my daughter know how to do this. She can do that, you know, right? You gotta separate friendship from being a parent when it comes to children. You can't be their friends. You have good times, but you're not your child's friend. You're their parent. You're supposed to instruct them right. They grow up, they live right. And when people see that in them, they don't just see the child acting right. They see that that they had a good upbringing. They see that the parents was good, right? That's one thing. When me and my wife go out, we go out with the children. All nations of people notice it, man. They behave themselves. They don't run around restaurants. They're not running up and down the aisles of the grocery store. They don't throw themselves down in the middle of the floor. And that's because from their younger years, man, we've been on them, you know, and they know, hey, if they do something they ain't supposed to do, their mother gonna get on them. Hey, then it's my turn. So they can't run to mommy and say, oh, mom, you know, dad gonna do this, you know, I did that, you know, and the mother saved them, and vice versa, you know. And they can't do that to their mother and come to me and think that I'm gonna save them. You know, we both, you know, we both play the field with them, and we let them know, man, hey, you know, you act up, this is what happens. You know, you don't want to listen, hey, exactly. They get embarrassed, man. They definitely get embarrassed. All right, I'm gonna want you to read verse 25 for me again.
Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter, but give her to a man of understanding.
This is a problem. A lot of the men that our women are getting with today, they're not being given away first and foremost. You know, a lot of them don't respect their parents. And a lot of these young girls that do have fathers or group with fathers, they've been so rebellious, you know, they get out here and they get on this internet, which is just so loosely and always open up different avenues and channels to do whatever wickedness they want to do. They feel like, hey, if I can do this and profit from this, I'm good. But this is something there's a really a weighty matter, something heavy, a burden, you could say, man. Marrying your daughter off to a man of understanding, not just some nigga in the street, not some thug, some G, you know, whatever terms they use nowadays, not them type of dudes, man. A man of understanding, and they got to know these law, statutes, and commandments, because you can't lead my daughters if you don't know the Most High. And I ain't just saying you just believe in a higher power. No, you got to know the Most High through the Word, and you got to prove that. You know, hey, you know, do you keep this feast day? You know, do you what kind of foods do you eat? What kind of holidays do you celebrate? You know, what do you do? What do you do in your spare time, man? You know, I smoke with the fellas and stuff. We go to the hookah bar. No, we don't do that. Man, but you can't have my daughter. You know, why you got your pants hanging off your ass? You know, I don't like men. You know, you with a woman, you with a woman, you shouldn't want to show your behind to the rest of the world. It's like a woman's with a man, and even if she's not, she shouldn't want to show her body to the rest of the world. No, nobody wants to see that. And that sloppiness, that slackness, man, that shows poor character in them individuals. But a lot of women today that complain about the dudes they get with, and a lot of time it is folly. They just coming up with false accusations and just trying to get out of marriages and stuff like that. But the ones that generally do have dudes are just idiots and fools, just like Nabals, right? These men don't have understanding. Some of these dudes, yeah, they got the money, they got the jewelry, they got the fame and all this glory and stuff going on worldly wise, but what they really have? They don't have no understanding on nothing. You know, they can't even hold down a civilized conversation. You know, it was I forgot the female artist's name. You know, but she was gone off. You know, the lady that was interviewing her was trying to put her in the category as a person that does music, and she couldn't even comprehend something as simple as that. She was so ignorant, right? She's somebody maybe she had a poor upbringing, which is bad, and it happens to our people. But when it comes to being fathers, we do got to really be on our daughters, and you got to be on your daughters more than your sons. I'm not saying you don't correct your sons, but your daughters are the ones that really need it, because when they go out in this world, as soon as they open themselves up to a man, it's pretty much all over. Especially if that don't work out, it's pretty much all over, man. You know, it's a bad stain. It's a shame all on your family, man. It's just it's bad on you as a father. You know, not even more so as the mother, but the father. Oh goodness, it's a heavy thing. So it's good to be able to marry your daughter off to a man of understanding, right? All right.
Understanding of who he is as a man of Yahweh, power, and Yahweh shot. Understand that, because there's a lot of intelligent men out here that are wise in their own way. They can be wise unto the ways of this world, under of idolatrous nation or paganism, and they can appear to be wise, but if they don't have the wisdom, knowledge, understanding of being who they, especially Israel, us as God's chosen nation of people, not understanding who he is as a man of the Most High, he's a foolish person, man, foolish man. He's just altogether destroyed, no matter how much money he has. We can look at a lot of our people around the world, especially in the United States of America, got a lot of money, a lot of wealth, but they ain't on nothing for real. They're not on anything, man. They on their career as an athlete, maybe on their career as a entertainer, but they dumb down. They have no, they simple mind. They have no knowledge, wisdom, understanding of who they truly are. Some do, some come out with it, but they still under a stronghold to keep them in a place without they're not effective in moving the masses in doctrine and truth. They've been bought for a price to keep their mouths closed, stay under the rule of this idolatrous, wicked ways of the enemy. If you say anything, you come out with it, we're gonna take your career away. We're gonna be destroyed. They sent other nations of women at our men and pull them away from this truth. Be destroyed, man. Our men, a lot of our men, even our sisters. It kind of hurt me when I says like, yeah, I'm gonna go get this kind of man, or I'm gonna get this kind of man, and he not Israel, man. You done sold your soul, sis. You thinking you coming up? You thinking you really doing something? And passed around. Look at all our gorgeous, beautiful sisters in industry, man. They passed around like hotcakes, man. They passed on and on and on. They think they really doing something because they say in a minute, I don't need a man. But you running through men like you running to the grocery store, grabbing your best loaf of bread off the shelf. So I look at it as a destructive matter, and men grabbing women that they they're not rooted, they're not grounded. And then I'm looking at what kind of family they're gonna have, what kind of children are they gonna have? Wicked children, man.
Okay.
Wicked children.
Salaki, hey, Sister Nadine, you wanna read this?
Yeah,
It's
where
out the
we are again?
Apocrypha. It's in the Apocrypha, Ecclesiasticus. What chapter is that? Chapter 26, verse 23. We're gonna go to verse 25.
Ecclesiasticus. So you said 26?
Yeah, chapter 26, verse 23.
All right. Verse 23. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord.
Keep going.
A dishonest woman contempteth shame,
Contemptive.
but an honest woman will reverence her husband.
25.
Keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord.
So back to verse 23. It says a wicked woman is given into the portion of a wicked man. If a woman is dealing with somebody, she not getting proper guidance, she ends up with a dude that don't know the Most High. That man can't be considered good at all. Some people think just being nice, it's a representation of goodness. But when it comes to the Most High's goodness, you can only be good if you keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Your definition is not what the Most High is speaking on. That's the a worldly modernized way of saying things. Like you got people that don't believe in the Most High, but hey, they might hand out food for the community. They might plant gardens. They might do things, little activities with children and stuff. That don't qualify you to be good. Those are nice things to do, but if you're not doing thus saith the Most High, there can be no good in you. So with the sisters that get with certain type of dudes and they complain about them later, you don't have a man of the Most High. That's why you become bitter. That's why he's as they say, abusive, verbally, physically, and all these type of things, right? And you just wicked as the Negro is, for being with that type of person, right? Verse 24 about a dishonored woman, right? A lot of time our sisters, they always want to cover things up. They never want to really be straight up and honest. And a big thing too is when you bring out something to a woman about herself, something, and you could be right on point with it. Hey, sister, if you just don't do this and don't act like this, maybe you wouldn't have these issues in your life, or maybe you can get what you want in life, man. But you're not being a straightforward person. The thing is, when you tell somebody about themselves, they should be acceptant towards that. You can't be a person that don't accept correction or reproof or anything to themselves and think, okay, the world gonna keep turning for me. Nah, you can get all negative results with it, all negative results with that, right? So verse 5 is where it says a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. We all know what that is, what a female dog is, all capital letters, man. But she that shamefaced it, a woman that has a shyness to herself. Not saying she don't speak or anything, but she don't want to expose herself physically or using her mouth, verbally. Because the things that come out of our mouths, we say, and just listen to how some of these women talk. They have no shame. Once again, the female rappers, just listen how they talk, and it's even more wicked for women that's like that do have husbands. Because some of them, these brides, they have husbands, and the men don't see nothing wrong with the way the women talk. Your wife shouldn't be talking sexually in no manner like that. She taking all of that, just to make a check and being extremely perverted. And they don't care about the Most High hearing these things. Every word we say falls in the Most High ears. We gotta be mindful of that. But that's why it's good for us to marry our daughters off. First, raise them right, marry them off to a man of understanding in this walk, right? I had something else too. We're gonna jump into Deuteronomy chapter 21, and we're gonna go to verse. Put up this side. Deuteronomy chapter 21. I think it's verse 18. I want to start at. just to show, man, how severe and how stern the Most High's punishments and judges is with us, man.
You want me to read?
You can read that. X, you still with us? All right, Slot, you can go ahead, read this. We're gonna
So
read
that's
verse 21.
Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 18.
Come.
If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him, will not hearken unto them,
Keep going.
then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of his city and unto the gate of his place.
Kind of Salaki, 1 second. So the end of that verse, it says, when they have chasteneth him, he will not hearken unto them. You've done everything you can do with your child. Everything. You beat them, you telling them they're wrong, you're trying to guide them and bring them up the right way. They just adamant about just not listening, period. You know, we're gonna see what the Most High say about it, because this is something that used to happen. And as we move towards the kingdom of heaven coming on earth, the Most High will, you know, everybody here, we make it in there. We're gonna see how strict the Most High is with children. The Most High don't give children no pass either. He don't give bad bees no pass. He don't give gangster thug Negroes no pass. You know, he don't give crooked passes no pass. You know, he don't even give us in the truth that notice word, but we feel like we still want to slide back in the world, but he don't give us no pass either. Nobody getting away from anything wicked that we do. All right. Read verse 19 straight down to verse 21 for me, sis.
Then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of his city and unto the gate of his place.
Come.
And they shall say unto the elders of his city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So shalt thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear.
Come. Now imagine that, man. Your child, and you know, you got a child, and you trying hard to deal with your child, discipline your child, man, and tell him, hey, look, son, you know, you don't need to be doing this, you don't need to be doing that, you know. And this is not just a young child, because you never stop being a child of your parents. I don't care how old you get, you know, because your parents, in the scriptures, your parents can guide you from you a baby all the way to you an adult. They never stop guiding you. That's one thing nowadays parents forget. Parents think, okay, my child is 18, my child's 21, they're grown, they can do whatever they want. No, you still can guide that child. Now, of course, it's a little different when they get older, because you know they should have a good enough upbringing in their older years. That way they don't fall off on the deep end. You know, they heed the words from their childhood, and they do what they gotta do. But in this situation here, these parents bring their son up to the elders. Look, man, we done everything. He just won't listen, man. Period. No matter what we say, we beat him, he still won't listen. All right. Read verse 21 for me again, sis.
And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So shalt thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear.
Come. This is for all of us to witness this. They didn't take him behind no wall and stone him to death like they do executions today. Only a certain amount of people see. The whole community witnessed this stoning the death of this child. Everybody saw this. It wasn't no secret, because it was to warn the rest of us. Look, man, you do this what happens to you. You know, I personally couldn't imagine myself going through something like this. You know, I ain't listening, and then my judgment come. Because I say it don't have to be, you know, you become an old man, then you die of natural causes, then the Most High deal with you. Most High can deal with you anytime. He deal with men, women, and children. Right? I got matter of fact, I got one in Zechariah chapter 9. I'm gonna pull up real quick, and then I'm gonna go to this one in Numbers, just to back up the statement I just made about the women and children. In Zechariah 9. think it's is it 9 and 4. Let me see if it's chapter 9 and 4. Bear with me 1 second, y'all. No, it's not 9 and 4. Let's see, put a mark on 2. Let's sigh and cry. Salaki, it was in Zechariah. It's Ezekiel 9.
Ezekiel.
Right chapter, wrong prophet.
Okay. Ezekiel 9.
Chapter
Okay.
9 and verse 4.
All right.
Because we
Verse
see
4.
how serious
Okay.
the Most High is. What did I just click on?
I got Ezekiel 9 and 4.
There we go.
Ezekiel 9 and 4.
I'm ready when you're ready.
And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
So for all of us that speak against the ways of this world, and we warning our brothers and sisters about these things, we're going to receive a mark on our foreheads. And this is not the mark of the beast. This is not what's spoken about in Revelation. This is a different mark. This is something that the angels going to see on us, and they're not gonna bring no harm to us. All right, keep going.
And to the others he said in mine hearing, Go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity.
Keep going.
Slay utterly old and young, both maids and children and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house.
Right. So the Most High ain't worried about, he said, have no pity, man. Don't feel sorry for them. Don't feel sorry for them. Like I said, you ain't teaching your children right, they're gonna get punished and judged too. Right? This is going into the time to come where it's gonna be a whole lot of destruction on this earth, right? When that sky crack open and Yahweh Shai and the army angel come down, you don't have that mark on you. Like you got unruly little children, they're gonna be put to death. Use a maid, which is a young lady. You're a maid, young lady, get put to death. Little children, babies, little toddlers and stuff like that, they get put to death, right? And women, okay? Most I don't care nothing about your social media status, none of that stuff. You got to listen to the Most High. He's the father of fathers, man. It starts with him. So if we don't extend courtesy and respect to our own parents, we're not worthy of the Most High's glory. Once again, I say, man, the scriptures say, the Most High command is to honor our mother and father. And if your parents are putting out their discipline for you and you just not taking heed to it, what you think the Most High gonna do? Which for those that like to say only God can judge me, we see the judgment that's gonna happen. And there's no way you can just think, all right, yeah, I'm gonna just wait for the Most High to deal with me. Nah, get right while you can, and all of us in a way too are like little children, because us coming back into the truth, as the scriptures say, in Matthew, with Nicodemus asked Yahweh Shai about being born again, you got to come back as a little child. That's why I always go into Romans 12:2 about renewing your minds. Be as a child in your mind. Not that you being childish or anything, but you're relearning. You got to be like a sponge, relearn everything. Everything you thought was right in society and you thought that was cool to do and stuff from your younger years to your adult years, and you still holding on to that worldly garbage. You got to take that stuff out your mind and put the things of the Most High in there. Because trust and believe, man, the judgment of the Most High ain't gonna be nothing sweet, man. All right, I got one more scripture, and we can close off from there. If you could go to the book of Numbers, sis, we're gonna do Numbers chapter 16.
Salakia, King. Can
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
bring us something out that holds so much power and strength to that? What you
Sure.
brought out about the mark on our children's forehead, that the Most High going to mark them. I like that. Let me see. That it came out like that, Ezekiel 9:4, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst there. The Most High don't miss nothing.
Okay.
He's checking for everything we do, everything we say, how we act, how we be. He is looking at that with the correction that he wants to be on his people, precepting that. I want to bring out Jeremiah 13:7. I just two precepts with that, King, because it's like this is something that our people, as a people, we must understand. Let me see.
You said
Jeremiah 13. I'm Salakia. Jeremiah 13:17. Jeremiah 13:17.
Okay.
It reads, Jeremiah chapter 13:17. But if ye will not hear it, my soul shall weep in secret places for your pride, and my eye shall weep sore and run down with tears, because the Lord's flock is carried away captive. Now, this just stating that we at the Most High's people, that we're going to suffer things for not listening to what our, for one, Yahweh tell us, and then our fathers, the flesh fathers, tell our sons, like, look, you gotta do things right, because the Most High not gonna miss anything. We spoke on this a little bit earlier, of not listening, not doing what you're supposed to do, not listen to the Father. The Most High gonna hold the fathers accountable. He's holding us all accountable to how we do towards our sons, chastising them. Now, that mark that we read about in Ezekiel 9:4, precepting it, Exodus 12:7. Exodus 12:7, it's stating that the Most High, when he mark you, or I should say, when he mark us, it's marked for life. It ain't, the Most High not gonna miss anything. He demonstrated this power that he had over the entire world, especially with Israel, to follow strict instructions. If you don't follow these instructions, you will be destroyed, just for not listening, just for not hearkening. Now, had not the Israelites done what the Most High commanded them to do in Egypt, they would have been destroyed. Read verse 11, Exodus chapter 12:7. It reads, and they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts on the upper door posts of the houses, wherein they shall eat it. Now, the Most High had the death angel to pass over, to kill all the firstborn in Egypt. Now, had not Israel listened to the Most High and the instructions of putting that blood on the post, they would have died. They would have been killed. The angels don't, they go off of exactly what the Most High tell them. They're not emotional like humans. They carry out the will of the Most High. I look at this as a replica of following the instructions of the Most High. And then the example is following instructions of your mother and father, because Yahweh is the head, Yahweh Shai, man, then woman, the children. So we don't listen, there's going to be a consequence to not just not listening, just doing what you want to do, doing how you want to do it, and not coming under that command and that order. Death could be at the end of that, of not humbling yourself, not hearkening yourself, and even coming under the chastisement of the Most. The Most High chastises whom he loves. So that chastisement is to keep us from the death that could happen to us, as you spoke of earlier, when we don't listen and we go off doing our own thing. The consequences are there. The Most High marked us then in Egypt. We was in bondage, in captivity. All we had to do was listen. He brought us out, brought us through the Red Sea, brought us through the wilderness, established his laws and ordinance, commandments, statutes, judgments with us in the desert 40 years. before we crossed over Jordan to coming into the milk of land and honey. And it has not changed because he took us back into captivity for our forefathers not listening. Here we are today in captivity, and we have to work it out. We have to get back to keeping the laws, commandments, the judgments, the statutes of the Most High, and we have to raise our kids up in this, man, so they don't be overtaken with things that the Most High allowed things to happen when we don't listen. All because we ain't listening, all because we ain't hearkening, all because we ain't being in subjection and submissive to authority. You know, the mother has authority over the children. The father has authority over the wife and the children. Yahweh has authority over the man, the wife, the woman, and the children. And Yahweh has a power over everything. Yahweh didn't do anything outside of Yahweh. He followed instructions. And we as the men, the prophets of the Most High, have to follow these instructions. The Most High hold us accountable when we don't chastise our kids, King. Chastise them, kids, correct them, and it's true. Whether they're a child or an adult, we still have that power. They have to be respectful of that order, hear it out, listen, because it's something good there that they can learn from. The Most High always want to protect us, but when we get out of line, man, that destruction fall on us, man. The Most High wanted to protect us, get us out of Egypt, get us out of bondage. And a lot of us died in the desert of sin, spending a lot of time because they was talking back, kicking back. The same way how that son disrespect the mother and father, they beat him and correct him, try to do everything to check him, get him right. Get right. All right, man, we done with you, Snell. We'll take you out and out the gates and let the men, the righteous men of the Most High deal with you, man. And the only thing is death for you is death.
Yeah.
Death, just for not hearkening, just not being obedient and in subjection to authority, man. And the Most High has many ways of demonstrating his power unto us, man. He make it real simple. Be obedient. Obedience is better than sacrifice. You put your life on the line. When you make a sacrifice, you put your life on the line. But when you're obedient to the instructions, it protects you from death, man. Protect you from, being overtaken in a world that don't love. The world don't love us as the Most High love us, man. The Most High demonstrated his love for us, man. All through all history, man. He made the disciples sacrifice, the apostles sacrifice just for us, man. They was obedient. We was disobedient. But we can't look at that and hearken to like, man, you know what? My forefathers went through for me. The good men, the good prophets, the good priests, the good apostles, the good disciples, the ones that laid down their lives for us, and we can't wake up. So we want to look at, that's why the Most High reference in Deuteronomy, ain't no man gonna be able to save us. Most High gonna save us. But that man is upright and righteous, rooted and grounded in his word. We can look at his life as an example. We can look at our world leaders as an example. And they was off a little bit, but we still look at them as an example. They ain't saved us. We ain't saved. We still where we are. But we look at this word in the Most High, we will be okay, man. Even with the atrocities, things that's going on around us, at least we learn to be content, be humble, submissive into this word, man. We'll be okay, man. The Most High make it okay. We gotta have faith and trust in the Most High. We have to have trust. If you say you would love the Most High, you believe in him, keep his commandments, keep his laws, statutes, judgments, follow what he say, hearken unto that, we're gonna be okay, man. I'm a real live example of that, man. When we don't listen and doing our own thing and jumping out there and we don't have nothing to stand on, death could be waiting for us on the end of that, man. Just because we wasn't obedient. That's all I wanted to bring out, King.
No, that's a good way to look at it too. Like back here, man, we was in Egypt, not the white man in Israel today. They would have been burned up and died of skin cancer and been extinct, man. But when we look at this, the Most High instructing, Moses to have us put the blood on the doorpost, and that was to keep the death angel out. Now here it don't mention at this part of the scripture why we had to do that. But later, Moses did find out, Most High didn't let Moses know why this was done. When the death angel would see the blood on the post, he would pass over you. And that's all a part of the Passover. When the Most High delivered us from our enemies, and he allowed the death angel not to harm us. This is definitely something good to go in and throw in there. I want to bring this out to Numbers. I got something out of Numbers too. Check this out. This is
That spiritual, the big up off with the little bit you say, that spiritual mark that the Most High put on us, the Most High, the angels can only see that. The heavenly host of the Most High can see that. We can't see it, but our obedience, it's like, it's just being obedient, man. That mark that we had there to be obedient to the Most High, we're gonna be okay, man. We will be okay. You gotta have faith and trust in the Most High to believe what His word is saying to us. If we ain't gonna believe it, then what are we gonna stand on? We have nothing else in the world. There's nothing in this country, nothing around the world that we can stand on to guarantee our relationship, our entering into the gates, the 12 gates, getting back to the tree of life. All is just about being obedient, man, to the Most High, man. That's it. You know, that mark that the Most High put there, man. It ain't gonna be like you got a big you carved up or whatever, but it's gonna be the glory of the Most High on you, man. That mark, that's the glory, man. That the Most High got you covered. You know, the Most High now to weave out was what know was what. We don't know that, we don't see that, but we have faith and trust and believe that we are in right standing with the Most High. The Most High make that clear through us through the Ruach, through the Holy Spirit. It'll be resonated in us. It's resonated in us today because you're speaking on it right now through the scripture, bringing it out, teaching it, you know. And I'm able to register and understand what you're saying. I'm able to register and understand what Akiwafa reading, Akiyama reading. It's comprehended. It resonates. You know what I'm saying? That's the Ruach, man. That's the Holy Spirit resonating that truth to me, man. And it's only by the Most High, the Ruach, that, you know, we're able to bring out sound doctrine, man, to the masses, to our people, man. It's written right here, black and white, you know, and in red letter. So I just want to say that.
Okay. Now, this is something I want y'all to check out. Now some of these books in the Bible, man, I done read in their entirety. And like just going back, it's like when you read the Bible like it's a novel, you kind of miss a lot of the stuff in there. Let me see. Should I start at verse 1?
You said number 6?
Numbers chapter 16.
Number 16?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to see, should I start all the way at the top? Start at verse 25.
Number 16, verse 25.
Okay.
Okay. And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, Depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sins. So they got up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan and Abiram on every side, and Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives and their sons and their little children. And Moses said, Hereby ye shall know that the Lord Yahweh hath sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of mine own mind. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Lord Yahweh have not sent me.
Okay, so like 1 second, sis. So Moses right here in verse 29 is saying that if these men pretty much die of natural causes, or if another man rises up and kills them, you know, then the Lord has not sent me, because Moses is giving a decree now. These people are wicked. You know, they did something that the Most High didn't approve of. And it's only through seeing this judgment that you're going to know it's the Most High Yahweh has done it, not myself. All right. Keep reading, sis.
Okay, that's verse 30.
Okay.
But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up with all that appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord Yahweh.
Okay, so 1 second, sis. So Moses saying, hey, if the Most High open this ground up, you know, how they had, and this happened in the book of Exodus too, where our ancestors was going off being wicked. The Most High opened up the earth and swallowed them up in the earth. You know, they burnt up in there. So Moses saying, if this is something that you see to happen, this is of the Most High's power. Keep going.
And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that appertain unto Korah, and all their goods. They and all that appertained to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them, for they said, lest the earth swallow us up also. And there came out a fire from the Lord, and consumed the 250 men that offered incense.
Okay. When the Most High say don't do something, you just don't do it, man. You know, now we're not going through these type of punishments, but that don't mean that won't happen again. We know in Revelations, and Most High next weekend, I'm gonna bring this out in Revelations. A lot of the judgments coming on this earth, man. We gonna have earthquakes so bad, it's gonna be dividing the earth up constantly. You know, so if the Most High ain't with you, I don't care how many guns you got, how much food you got stored up, you're gonna be put to death. You know, ain't gonna be no protection from the calamities coming on this earth. Now the Most High, he swallowed up 250 people of this family. You know, opened up the earth, and other people were afraid when they seen this. They fled, they ran away. You know, and it ain't like when you're going through this type of judgment that you're not gonna cry out. You know, hey, you considering, dang, I wish I would have listened. You know, just like I forgot the brother name that touched the Ark of the Covenant because he thought it was gonna fall. The Most High, you know, set it up there. If the Most High wanted to straighten it out or push it back or stop it from falling, he could have did that. You know, the brother stretched his hand out to touch it. Most High took his life right there. When the Most High say don't do something, just don't do it. You know, same way with your parents, us being parents. You know, you telling your child not to do something, your child should listen to you. You know, all my children know ain't a friend on this planet that can stop me from getting to them. You know, you do something you ain't supposed to do, I'm coming. So they know. You know, I don't even have no care or worry over that stuff. You know, I know I've been instilling this in them when they was younger. So, and it's not just for them to fear me, it's to fear the Most High, because I don't want the judgment of the Most High to come on my children. You know, my wife the same. That's not something we want for our children, man. We know the Most High can visit you any day. You know, the Most High, you know, he kill if he make it alive. You know, he wounds, he heals. You know, a lot of us, you know, that probably done fell down, you know, broke bones and stuff like that. You know, it's the Most High that allow these things to happen. But it's through our wickedness and just not knowing any better. We got to get ourselves right, man. But you don't want the Most High to open this earth up and consume you in there. You know, if you think something, you think you know what hot is, you think you know what pain and suffering is. You know, they really don't think our people know, man. You know, it's even some judgments. I think they're in the Apocrypha where it talks about I'm gonna find this women being hung by their eyelids because they tempt men with their eyes. I'm gonna find it's about because I'm gonna go into these judgments and stuff, you know, next class. But that's something vicious, man. All you sisters that like to get yourself dollied up to go tempt men, get your BBL injections, to go out there and go cause men to go off, man, and become whoremongers and stuff like that. There's a judgment for all of that. But none of that stuff is appropriate. Like, come on, like, why would you want to do that? You know, as a matter of fact, let me pull this up in Genesis.
It's the reason why the Most High want his daughter
38.
to dress modestly, because men, we are visual. We are visual, and that can take us off. You know, like in the Christian church, like, you know, you gotta put your blinders on, like, you know, because our eyes wander, and we can sin with our eyes, with our thoughts, without even doing a physical act, man. We gotta check that, man. We as men gotta check that. We gotta repent, ask God to forgive me, and you know, I looked upon this sister this way or that way, and gotta repent for it, man. Especially if she's a married woman, she's committed, and the scripture said we can commit adultery without you know, we could commit adultery in our minds, man, and have to really check our thoughts. You know, we could speak with our eyes, man. our eyes, we can speak. You don't have to have a whole conversation with someone. You can really speak with your eyes. The eyes say a lot. The eyes are the windows of one's soul, man. And like you give your kids a stern look or something, you know what I'm saying? They know they cutting up, doing something. You look at them like, man, oh, your eye twitching them like, man, come on, man. You know, they straighten up real quick. You know what I'm saying? Wife ready to go. She look at you with that look like, oh man, I'm just trying to it's time to go. She look at me like this, or he looking at me like that. They know, man. You speak with the eyes, man. So, it's a wonder that the Most High would, if us men have to be accountable for our actions. What makes our sisters think that they're not supposed to be accountable for theirs? And their actions and what they do.
That's spiritual adultery. You know what I'm saying? You have to correct your mind. That's why I love Sirach chapter 6, verse 37. You have to get your mind, you have to renew your mind, and obedient to the law, such commandments of the Father, which is Romans chapter 7, verse 12. Everything about your life had to be conducted according to his will, his laws, his statutes, and his commandments. According to his mind. That's how we're supposed to live our life through a son of Mashiach Yahushua, who actually set the perfect example of how we're supposed to live our life out until he come again.
That's absolutely true. And I think it's one of our favorite chapters out of Romans. I think it's verse 12.
Romans 12, yeah. Romans 12 too. You got to renew your mind, man.
Come on, we got to renew our minds, man, and be right before the Most High. And present our bodies as a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable to Yahweh, which is in reasonable service, man. And verse 2, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh God, man. That's a whole, as you were saying, Shaka Ward, we got to do that, man. We got to put it in practice, man. We got to constantly stay on that. And then we got to work that out. If we don't, man, we can be far off somewhere where our minds can go somewhere, man, that they ain't even supposed to be, man. And being renewed and keeping that in check all the time, man. That's a process, man. And a lot of times it's not easy, because we see so much. Look what we see. Look what we see out in the world every day, on social media, on videos, and everywhere, man. We gotta check that, man. I'll be like, we could talk to like, whoa, hold up, like what, what I'm saying? Like, am I really seeing this? And a lot of our sisters be out there, like that. The Most High wants them to dress modestly. There's nothing wrong with being, they're doing said being beautiful, but you got to do it in a modest way. Because a brother mind go off.
It was something I was about to pull up. Did I pull up? Okay. It's Proverbs. It was Proverbs 13 right now. Yeah. Says if you could read this for me, Proverbs 13:1.
Okay. A wise son heareth his father's instruction, but a scorner heareth not rebuke.
So even a child could be wise, man. Daniel in his younger years, I think he was about 9 or 10 years old in the story of Susanna, when he brought forth the two men, and he cross-examined two grown men trying to get his sister killed just because she wouldn't let them sleep with her. They were trying to have sex with her. They saw her bathing naked because they looked over her house, and young Daniel took them out, separated them, asked, okay, you say it was under a tree, right? Under what tree did you see the sister do this? One gave one answer, the other gave another answer. He brought them back before the elders, and they got judged. You know, because even that, you know, you can't be a person that want to bring up anything false on somebody just because you can't have your way with them. You know, but it says a young son hears his father's instructions, and Daniel had to get wisdom. You know, he was raised up into that. Same thing with David. Same thing with Solomon. You know, Solomon knew things that a lot of us probably couldn't comprehend today. He knew all the way down to the ants, how the ants operate. You know, and that's recorded in the scriptures for our learning. But a lot of us don't have it like that. You know, what we bring out here in the lessons a lot of time, I might know like 5% of the scriptures, you know, throughout the whole Bible. But it seemed like so much because the lessons in the Bible are so vast, man. It's not something that you can just capture in about a year or two. It takes almost a lifetime to gather these scriptures. You know, same thing. You trying to perfect something. It takes time to do that, but you got to be diligent with it. You know, you got to stay prayed up. You got to have faith. You know, you got to take that time off for the Most High. You always got to give him, you know, the honor and glory first. You can't, you know, put it to the side and just pretend like it's not a thing you got to do. So it's one more I got to bring up, and then I'm gonna.
Can I bring out some coming out? So I can take from Proverbs 13:1.
I think that's where I was going. Not hold on.
Okay, go ahead. I'm
hold on. No, not 13:1. I was going to what was that? 12:7. Because this is Proverbs 13:1 we just went over.
Right. But I had a precept with that.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? For that instruction that, you know, a wise son heareth his father's instruction, but a scorner heareth not rebuke. It's very important to hear the instructions of your father, because your father's trying to keep you from error. The Most High want to keep us from error. The precept, 1 Samuel 2:25.
You said 1 Samuel 2?
1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 25.
Fine, I got it.
It says, if one man sin against another, the judge shall judge him. But if a man sin against the Lord, who shall entreat for him? Ain't nobody gonna be able to save you from the Most High, from the hand of the Most High. Notwithstanding, they hearken not unto the voice of their father, because the Lord would slay them. So it's very important that a son hearken unto the voice of his father, keep him from trouble. Because you can go out here doing anything and wilding. You can sin against a man. You know, the judge gonna hold you accountable if you pull it in the courts. But when it comes to the Most High, you ain't escaping the Most High's hand, man, from that judgment that he instruct us what to do and what not to do. If we don't do it, then you're behind is handed over to the Most High. Ain't nothing you really do but wait for that fate, you know, to come upon you. It says, because the Lord would slay them. Anybody come against the Most High was slaying nations of people, tribes and nations of people that was coming against Israel. Speak against Israel, you raise up against Israel, the Most High hand them over into the hand of Israel to be dealt with, man. And you know, we're of the Most High, and the Most High is of us. So that's why it's important for us to raise our sons and correct them with instructions how to go, how to conduct yourself. Because go out here in the world, you do this and that. Yeah, you can go and do this and that. Yeah, the judge gonna, like we spoke of earlier, the judge bring you in the court, you're gonna be judged. But you go against the Most High, man. You know what I'm saying? You say something or speak something against one of the Most High's elect or his chosen, and you in right standing with the Most High gonna. That's why the scriptures say the Most High will pay evil for evil. When we're in righteous standing with the Most High is protecting us, man. You know, but people don't understand this if they're not rooted in the ground in this truth to get it, to understand that on the spiritual level and on the physical level, man. The Most High is walking with us. We're the temple of the Most High. We're the church of the Most High. He want to walk with us, be in us, do things with us, and that's just how it is. That's what he don't want us to be doing things that's outside of a righteous accord. You know, get away from that unrighteousness, get away from that darkness, and walk in the light, walk in the uprightness of the Most High. I just want to bring it up. It was in a precept there, but you know, we can move on though. We can move on.
Yeah, true that, man. And Like when you look through the scriptures and it mainly speaking on disciplining the sons, though those you know your daughters too, but it mainly mentions the sons because those sons are gonna grow up, those children, those males gonna grow up to be men, and they're gonna be the next leaders. So if you don't have any discipline, any structure about yourself, you know, no wisdom or anything, you're not gonna be able to lead a family, man. You know, it's just plain and simple. You know, the woman, she not gonna respect you. She gonna feel unprotected. She gonna just feel like she's just out there. You know, that's why you do have some women in situations that they just with the wrong person, man. You know, like I said, it ain't every story that women say men did this and that is a lie. Yeah, you know, women have their ways and stuff, but you know, these are real situations too. So if you with the wrong type of dude and he not talking about this word, he ain't talking about nothing. You know, if his way is a scam to get a bag, to get the bag or whatever, man, you won't be with that person. Because finally, when things catch up to you, just as quick as you was able to obtain that money, you know, get what you wanted to materialistic wise, you're gonna lose it 100 times faster, you know, and then you're gonna have to pay the price for that.
And a lot of people don't understand that you can have when you have reproach against your mother, your father, you have a serious reproach against the Most High, King. That's a reproach against the Most High. If I have a reproach against Yahweh Shai, got problems, man. Got problems, King.
Hey,
The wife
I don't want to be around you.
Have reproach against her husband, like that
I don't want to be around you.
That's reproach. That's reproach. Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring it out. Numbers chapter 15, verse 30, King, because it's eating at me. But this is reproach I have for those that Numbers chapter 15, verse 30. That precept from will be read out of 1 Samuel 2 and 25. It reads.
Oh, you said verse 30, right?
Verse 30. Numbers 15, verse 30. It says, but the soul that doeth aught presumptuously, whether he be born in the land or of a stranger, that same reproacheth the Lord, and that soul shall be cut off from among his people. No matter where you are at in the world, you have a reproach against something. It could be like almost like really like a presumptuously. It's like you doing it in really you don't have no sense about it, not knowing. The Most High still gonna hold one accountable, man, because it's a child know when they disrespecting their mother. She tell them, "No, you can't have that toy in the store," and they jump on the floor, start cutting up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get you when I get home. He crying, crying, knowing he gonna get it. Or the wife do something towards her husband, knowing it's wrong. She knows she gonna get it. She gonna get it. Vice versa, the man with the Most High gonna get it, man. You got to be in right standing with the Most High, man. No matter what. How do we know this? It have to be taught. We have to learn it. So that's why the instruction from the father is important to reprove their son. But I gotta put that rod on, beat his behind. And you're gonna learn today, buddy. You're gonna know what it is to be in correction, because you don't want them going out there in the world and be disrespectful. Bucking got a slick mouth, slick tongue. You might come across somebody, man, gonna hand your behind to you, man. So we gotta be. It's good to be humble. It's good to be obedient. It's good to be, in line and learn to understand. Because some of us just outlandish, out the way, totally disrespectful. You're gonna get chastised, man. You're gonna get the reproach gonna come on you, and you rather your daddy reproach come upon you than going out there in the street and something horrible happen to you. And that's just how I look at it, how the Most High is teaching us and reproving us in this truth, man. Just better to, fall in line and learn, be obedient. Because every reproach gonna come upon you. The wife may say something. She don't know what she's talking about. She's talking from an emotional point of view. You giving a strict instruction. You just standing 10 toes down, like, I'm giving this, that's it. I'm putting my foot down. That's called putting your foot down. And that's it. So if she go and disrespect that order, that law that you put down, and she don't respect it, man, it's gonna be consequences to her. Rather, it may not come from you. It's definitely gonna come from the Most High. Because the Most High do pay evil for evil. You know what I'm saying? From not hearkening and listening. I look at it that way, King. That's how I view that. I don't know if ever anyone else understands it, but that's just how I see it, man. It's an order there, and we got to follow that order. The judge said you got probation. and you don't carry the probation out, and your probation officer report you, it's a
Going right back,
consequence. You gonna
man.
pay, right?
You're going right back.
You go right. You break the you be out on what's that probation or something. You go ahead and break it. You know, you ain't supposed to do this and that. The probation officer get win, or you not supposed to do this and do that, man. You gonna pay. We pay society they debts that we owe them. What makes us think that we're not gonna pay that debt to the Most High, man? The creator of the universe, man, of our souls, man. He destroyed, like you said, he destroyed many of our people, man. Off buck for not hearkening to what he say, man. That's just what it is. That's, you know, just listen, just be obedient, just listen. The Most High say something, just do it. Daddy say something and do it. It's better to do it. Or mom say, I'm gonna tell your father you did this and that. They crying and nope, you're gonna get it. When dad get home, you're gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny how that works out, but it works out exactly that way. You know, we got to be in order, man. We gotta root ourselves some form of fashion. You know what I'm saying? Soccer War was speaking about that, you know, that we got to check ourselves, man. We as grown men, physical grown men, big and bad enough to whatever we do. But look, we got to keep right, because the Most High gonna have something for us, man. That reproach, man, it's gonna be paid, man. Right. That if we don't be right and try to get it right, the Most High gonna be on our line, man. Chastise, he gonna chastise. The Most High chastises whom he loves. And they'll just go for the men, it go for all those believers, man. It's in the truth.
The women and the little children and the majors, the young ladies, man. So the boss bees, the bad bees, the Instagram hoes, all that stuff, man. Most of them care nothing about none of that stuff, man. You could be as pretty as you want. Your behind could be as plump as you want to be. Breast perky, all that stuff, man. The Most High created you, man. You know, Most High don't care nothing about that, man. I don't know. We worry about the wrong things, man. The wrong things. And I said, if we not setting examples for our children, man, our children gonna fall in the Most High's hands. And then we gonna fall in the Most High's hands too, just for not instructing them right, man. It's like telling our people, man, run into your people, man, you see them going off, tell them, man, hey, we ain't supposed to be doing this, we ain't supposed to be doing that. Just give them a warning. That's what the Most High said. We gotta get them the warning from him, not from ourselves, man. We can't. We got to get out the emotions and worrying about how people feel about stuff, right? I'm gonna throw this out there real quick by saying that. Do Isaiah 58:1, and then I'm gonna close on after the scripture, right? This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 58 and verse 1. It says, "Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet." It's telling you to be heard, man. You're not supposed to be whispering, you know, or you go inside a building and close the door. Like Yahushua didn't go in no building and close the doors and teach there. He went out to the public. He went amongst the people to teach. And he wasn't worried about offending nobody because he was trying to save their lives, man. Trying to, get them spared. Because it's Yahushua that's going to vouch for us. Yahushua is the lawyer for us. You know, when it's time for our judgment, Yahushua the one that you want to speak up for you to say, you know, Father, I know such and such did this, but he has redeemed himself, you know, through all his works. You know, he never turned back. Just like you said, when he repented, he never turned back to these things. That's what you want Yahushua to be on your side. You don't want Yahushua to say, "Depart from me." There's with him saying that, he also gonna say, "Hey, bring him before me and slay him utterly, put him to death." And that's not the Jesus, the Savior that the church teaches, man. They teach a watered down, soft part of Yahushua, who the word is called Jesus Christ. And we know through the scriptures that he's not like that, man. You know, Yahushua is nothing like that. So end of the day, man, we gotta be stern on our children. You know, it's not a hateful thing. It's not, you don't want your child to have a childhood or, you know, have fun and stuff in life. You can have fun and stuff, but there's certain type of things that's just not fun, man. You know, like I said earlier, man, like our young daughters getting kidnapped on the streets because they want to dress like they grown. You know, you want to walk outside with your face painted up with the tightest, shortest damn outfit you can get on, you know, to be enticing. You know, not every man has a restraint over his mind when he sees these things. And like you mentioned earlier, Q, like, man, we are more visual. You know, yeah, it's sick for a grown ass man to want to mess with a little child. That's a sickness, man. And that's a demon that most of the time people that got that demon on, they can't contain it, man, because they not dealing with the Most High. You know, they dealing with demons.
Con,
Right.
con. Exactly, we spoke on earlier. Those demons, man, they overtake a brother. They don't know what they have done, what has happened, and they can't control it, man. And the doctors, these therapists, I've worked with them. They can't understand it. They just give them a pill that they made in the laboratory to try to subdue them by slowing them down. Slowing their mind down, slowing their actions down. They become almost like a vegetable until that individual person learn how to cope with that medication that is on, to where they can maybe decrease it a little. But they need that medication, because they don't have the medication out. The demons love it that they medicated up. They dumb down, they, slurring, or the therapists and the doctors don't want them to be where they incapacitated, where they not able to do for themselves, but enough to subdue them a little bit. The demons love it when that individual soul is like that, because they love it, but it's all spiritual. If they don't have that relationship with the Most High to be rooted and grounded to overcome that demon, man, that demon gonna run rampant in that individual's life. And it's a sad case that if Satan can't kill you, he'll have you insane, man. Have you insane. And the Most High will turn us over to that reprobate mind, to be in a delusional state, to believe a lie. And they're gone, man, because they're not rooted in this truth. So that's why it's important that, we have our kids rooted in this word. We raise them up in the way they're supposed to go, because they may go off on their own. They may step out there, get a taste of what the world is like. You know what? They running right back to the Most High, repenting, ask for forgiveness to get back right. Because them demons, Satan come to steal, kill, and destroy, and man, cause chaos, confusion, man. That's his rule. That's what he's doing. He got everything. He got the world upside down. Upside down. When you got a person you got a whole man dressed like a whole woman, from the heels to the stockings, to the implants and the injections, and look to be a woman, man.
Sickness, man.
It changes the name, man. It's sickness. It's sickness. Or a woman want to be like a whole man, man. Women want to be masculine, be tough, she in the gym working out, taking testosterone pills, and want to be rocked up and act like a dude, like she gonna really, subdue a man. You got a lot of our people like that, man. Messed up, man. Thinking that they gonna just rule out the Most High's word and be and those demons be in control, man. And unfortunately in the world, those demons are in control, man. The Most High let them go, let them be. Okay, all right. But my people, they gonna be rooted and grounded in this truth. They gonna hear my voice. They're gonna hearken unto my voice, and they're gonna do what I command them to do, from my commandments, from my statutes, from my judgment. They're gonna fall in line and order. I've given them my word. We can read out Deuteronomy 20. We're giving them my word to the blessings, and we're giving them my word to curses if they don't hearken into my voice. So, we want our children to be safe, man. They innocent. They pure blood, man. They don't know no wickedness, no evil. That stuff is taught, and they're overtaken by the atrocities of things that, how the world is out here, man. We got a lot of sick men, a lot of sick women. And it's important that we protect our children, man. I just want to say that out.
Yeah. So check this out. I was going to bring the last verse up, but check this out though. This is the words in red, which is the words of Yahushua, who people know as Jesus Christ. It says, but those mine enemies, and this, you being an enemy when you don't listen, when you don't keep the commandments, you against the Most High. You against the Most High. You against Yahushua and the angels.
What book is that, King? What book and chapter?
This is the book of Luke.
Come.
Luke 19:27.
Come.
But those my enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. Now this is not the Jesus, the Savior that they teach in church. They give you the false narrative that Christ is a man that's gonna come down and hold your hand and sign autographs and throw flowers to you and things like that. And it's gonna be a party. Everybody gonna do what the hell they want to do. No joke too, man. It's the first time he was here, it was to teach. All that was documented, so we learned. The second time we We know he's coming for blood and war. You know, and it's,
Mm.
it's playing right there before you. But they need to read this in church, man, to let you know, the Son of Man, Yahweh Shai, he's gonna be getting his enemy slayed. And this is not just talking about other nations, because remember, Israel, we're gonna be the first people to get our judgments, man. So it's our heads gonna be on the chopping blocks first. Then he's gonna deal with the other nations.
Huh.
But with that, I'm gonna close out with this. What was that? James. James chapter 4. Verse 4. Sis, you want to read this for me, sis?
James chapter 4, what?
Verse 4. We're gonna read down to verse 10.
James chapter 4 and verse 4.
Yeah. Go down to verse 10.
Okay. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God?
Come.
Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God.
Salaki. But I thought God so loved the world. That's something to consider, man. To go back and to get into what that John 3:16 is representing. Because one minute it says the Most High so loved the world, then it says, he who's an enemy, who is a friend in the world. And Yahweh Shai say, man, if you love the world, the love of the Father is not in you. So that'll cancel that out. But just to throw that out there. Keep going, sis.
Do ye think that the scripture saith in vain, the spirit that dwelleth in us lusteth to envy? But he giveth more grace. Wherefore he saith, God resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble.
God, so that's telling you, man. Most time not dealing with you if you prideful, because a lot of people that live in sin and live in wicked, because their days are prolonged, they're not worried about nothing. They don't consider, oh man, I've been a wicked Negro for 30, 40 years, man. If God ain't put me to death now, it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gotta happen right now. It ain't in your time. And when it do happen, you're gonna be regretful of you saying that. So lose the pride, man. Humble yourself. You say it all the time. Quick, Q, humble yourself. Keep reading, sis.
Submit yourselves, therefore, to Yahweh. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you.
God.
Draw nigh to Yahweh, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. Be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning, and your joy to heaviness. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord Yahweh, and he shall lift you up.
Come. Because you can't be prideful, man. A lot of times the pride comes from you don't want to be wrong, man. That's what a lot of our problems is. We don't want nobody to tell us we wrong. We want to be right about everything. It hurts our feelings so much for somebody to say, hey man, what you did the other day, that wasn't right. Oh man, but you heard what she said or what she put, brother. What you did was wrong, man. You can't even be nice to people trying to correct them. On the real, that's why the scriptures say cry loud. And you ain't got to do direct insults or nothing, but you just shouting out the things, man. Hey, none of these things that we do in this kingdom is right. Nothing. If it ain't thus saith the Most High Yahweh, it's all bad, man.
God.
So we're gonna close out.
Hey, can you break down verse 12? I mean, Salaki, verse 11. Can we have sis read 11? Can you break that down? Because a lot of people get construed with being us as the chosen. When we judge, they think we're judging from a worldly standpoint versus judging from the law that the Most High give us to keep and follow. We're not in hindsight wrong about judging, but that judgment have to be right, have to be according to the Most High's word and law. And someone doing wrong, a lot of our people get construed like, we can't judge, and so somebody can be like, oh, I'm not going to judge this, I'm not going to judge that, and keep their mouth closed and not really reproving that person and being incorrect. And that person can be way off. And the Most High does hold us accountable for not trying to have that person try to reprove that person in His word. I felt like maybe you can break that down a little bit as well from verse 11.
Yeah, we could judge righteous judgment though.
Absolutely.
How about that? And then what's that? That's John chapter 7, verse.
That's John
24.
That's
John
James.
7, verse 24.
Which one?
That's judged not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. We can judge. What about the book of Judges? There were judges. There were Israelite prophets, things of that nature. There were judges. So it's like, how can you say we can't judge it? Obviously, the scriptures that we can't judge hypocritical judgment, but we can judge righteous judgment. Well, I'm gonna digress on that. So my bad.
I think
you good. Go ahead if you can read that, sis.
James 4:11. Speak not one of another, brethren. He that speaketh evil of his brother and judgeth his brother speaketh evil of the law and judgeth the law. But if thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law, but a judge.
Okay, so we can't be slandering each other out here. Like it talk about bringing up an evil name on one another, stuff like that. We shouldn't do nothing like that. Or you so hateful towards your brother, which is your fellow Israelite, not your next door neighbor or just somebody you might work with or something. Because that's a big misconception. Something that's big misconception that people have. Like we went through that lesson last week. What the Bible talks about your neighbor, your brother. It's your fellow countryman, as they say. That's not a whole nother nation, man. So we shouldn't do that. And like when it goes into the law, we're talking about judging his brother, speaking evil of the law, right? First of all, if you're going to judge somebody, as you brought up, Shaka, you got to do it righteously. It has to literally be something that's against the Most High's law. Ain't no making up something and going according to that. You can't create something new that the Most High established for us already, and then try to make somebody else look bad, because that's what it's about. One person pedestaling themselves and putting the other person down here. You just want to be above them. A lot of times in this situation, people want to replace the Most High. You see this with a lot of pastors. They want the congregation to look at them as the Most High, and as they misleading them, and then they let them to go into the world and live their day by day with no form of correction. That's a big thing, not dealing with the laws, man. So we gotta be mindful. Don't slander your brothers and sisters, man. If you got anything to say about them, let it be truthful. If you got to judge them, judge them according to the law. Just like in the book of Judges, that's how we gotta be. We gotta be stern on that. Nobody want to be around somebody like that. And when you do this towards your own people, not only is you doing it to hurt a brother or sister, you offending the Most High big time, man. And Most High not gonna deal with you, man. It ain't gonna turn out well for you.
Right. And verse 12 sums that up exactly what you just said too, King.
Come.
Verse 12. We're gonna judge, let it be according to what Shaka was speaking on. We let it be a righteous judgment. The Most High, because the Most High he's the lawgiver. He gives the law, and we follow that law. And if we're gonna judge, it gotta be according to the Most High's law, man. According to what he want and how he want it to be done. But a lot of our people don't know this law. They don't know how they don't judge correctly. They judge it from a biased standpoint or from a hypocritical standpoint, but not knowing the laws of the Most High. Because if they was right standards with the law, with the Most High, then they'll keep His commandments. They going off the rail. You're not keeping the commandments of the Most High. You're doing what your own thing. So your judgment going 9 times out of 10 going to be wrong, because you're not doing it according to how the Most High wants you to do it. We know that we're not the lawgiver, but we can speak on righteousness. Verse 12, there is one lawgiver who is able to save and to destroy. So the Most High gonna deal with this wickedness that's in the world. He's gonna judge properly, correctly, according to His will, His way, and we stand on that. We stand on the words of the Most High. That's how we're able to speak on something that ain't right, speak on something that is right and not right. We understand it, and we ain't gonna even make that type of judgment if we ain't standing on the Most High's word, because we can't add or take away from the Most High's word, man. We could read that out of. I think we touched on that a little bit a couple of weeks ago. Out of, Revelations 22 about adding and taking away. We're not gonna do that. It's no way. I don't have no heaven or hell to put no one in, but the Most High do. You know what I'm saying? And we do it like that. The Most High destroys and saves. I don't destroy and save. The Most High gonna do that. But we do it according to this word, standing up, 10 toes. It's the Most High, man.
And this also is a different form of judgment in verse 12. As opposed to when we judge each other, we're correcting based on the behavior, how we live in our lives. It's not the judgment to actually punish somebody. We did have that authority back then, and that authority come back to us too. But now it's telling you only the Most High can save or destroy you. So you pretty much, hey, if you trying to override the Most High, and like I said, you're trying to pedestal yourself, and you're trying to be the man or the woman, and you think you're the one that's running the show, that's off. Just like in the marriage lesson we did, when we went with the scriptures to show that women don't have the authority to divorce their husband because the Most High didn't give that to them. Mr. Paleface told our women that she can divorce the man. That was never a thing with us, man. So we gotta get our minds out of this kingdom, what they do, how they do stuff, because it don't matter if they doing it right or not. They're gonna be destroyed for whatever they done already. They days is numbered. But also they're going to be the ones that's going to be serving us, and they're going to have to learn these laws, statutes, and commandments and do it and let go of whatever culture, whatever thing that they had, down from the clothing down to the food, down to whatever idols that they was worshiping. All that's going to be gone. Ain't going to be no more of that stuff, right?
Okay. And on that note, our sisters got to understand that repentance, Most High do look at for them to be repentive and ask for forgiveness, because they might have went astray and been off following these idolatrous nations and doing it their way. They got to repent, man. They got to ask for forgiveness, get back right with the Most High, and be in His word, man. Be in His truth, to follow the commandments and laws, statutes, and judgments of the Most High, man, for the correction of their life. Because there's a lot of failed marriages out here, and those marriages are failed because they didn't go about it the right way. They didn't know the laws and the commandments of the Most High to do it properly. That's very important, because a lot of our people destroyed. They destroyed for lack of knowledge. Hosea 4 said they destroyed for lack of knowledge because they sought the Most High, not knowledge. They didn't know. They thought they knew. They thought they were doing the right thing. And a lot of our people have been destroyed that way, man. A lot of our families and loved ones, have went astray that way. So we want to be right before the Most High, repent, ask for forgiveness, and do it right according to this, this book, the prophecy of this book. Most High's word, man.
I'm gonna start at verse 12 on this one. So sis, if you could read this, Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 12. We go to verse 14.
Okay. Ecclesiastes 12 and 12. All right. And further by these, my son, be admonished. Of making many books there is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For Yahweh shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
Come. I'm gonna jump back into verse 12 real quick. It said, further by these, my son, be admonished. Of the making of many books there is no end, and much study is weary of the flesh, right? So we get into different things, different topics. We study different type of sciences and stuff like that. You get into your astrology, astronomy, and all that stuff. You know, you just be gone with the wind. You know, at the end of the day, verse 13, you know, on the nose, our duty is to keep the commandments of the Most High Yahweh. You know, and this is going to be the duty of all man and woman. Every nation is going to have to keep the commandments of the Most High. You know, everything we do is going to be brought to the light, whether it's good or bad. So you want everything you do to be lined up with the Most High's way, you know, neck and neck. Hey, the Most High say, keep my law, statutes, and commandment. You know, sisters, being ordered to your husbands, of course, love your wives, you know, and with love of them, you know, you might have to come off harsh to them, loud, things of that nature. They might not like it, but we doing what the Most High say, and it's all for their help, man. The same way you yell at your child or you discipline your child in different ways because you want them to listen. You know, you don't want them to come out here and something bad to happen to them. You know, that's the purpose of why we do that. But I'm gonna close up right here. I went a little over than expected, but it's all good, man. You know, the spirit was moving. All right, so 1 second. Yeah, so I'm gonna get the next lessons out to y'all. The links and everything, so you know we can jump on there. I do want to try, you know, I'm Q to get up with you, and we can get a schedule laid out so we can start doing some lessons within the week. So it's not just on the Shabbat. Most I will. I'm gonna try to do some Hebrew lessons real soon, and I invite everybody back on there. You know, we can y'all can ask questions and stuff. I'm gonna go through different things in the Hebrew, and we go from there. But I want to say the water for those that was able to come on, to those that's going to be viewing this video. You know, I'm Akbayana. You know, like my brothers and my Akiwa for coming on. You know, I appreciate the love and support. You know, the reading and everything. You know, thank my wife Amawanya for being on here. I want to say Tawada. You know, been definitely an inspiration to me, a motivation. You know, all I can say is good about you. You know, nothing negative. To my ex, my Q, my Akshaka War, you know, love being around y'all brothers, man. Whether we on here through the video, my Ak Sam, you know, my big brother Sam, man, who done through the Most High as well, you know, help bring me into this walk, man. You know, it's such a blessing, man, and you know, all I can have is tears of joy for this because you know my life was heading down a different path. So all I can say is the water for all y'all. You know, Shaka War, we labored a lot, man. You know, it's always been a good thing, man. So I want to say appreciate y'all. You know, till next time, shalom.
Shalom, shalom,
Shalom.
Shalom. Definitely.
Shalom.
Definitely.